Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Fashion grow, bold and sexy. Legend of fashion grow and sexy. Legend of fashion grow. That's a little too much talking, DJ. That'll do. I just need this music to touch me and move me in ways like it never has before. Put me on a cut that's gonna get me off my feet. Make me feel this beat.
30 hertz straight up.
Just got in, ain't been here long. Hold on, DJ Lit playing my song. Now we gotta figure out the drink limit, cause they be strong. Tequila sunrise can't go wrong. Oh no, now they be kicking in. Burn it down, that's a classic. I'm a snack coming through more like a sandwich. Top it off with the classic. And it's massive, I'm a passive. And I'm coming through with some acid. Watch the beat right over me. Gotta get me off my feet. I need you to look on me. This beat goes hard, hard. Love me, love me, love. Love me, love me, love. I ain't come this far to play. Just getting beat right, I got no complaints. Shifting the mood, don't slow it down too soon. Rhythm tune, cause I let down my hair and I put down my cup. Even my haters know just what's up. I put my hand on my head and I won't stop unless you quit fucking with this sickening ass playlist. That's my jam. Love me, love me. Love me, love me.
All right. That'll do. That'll do. Yeah, this is new. I posted it, of course, on Patreon for the girls there. And then I'm bringing it now here to the girls on YouTube. It was just, it was just a night. I couldn't sleep. And I was like, God, let me be useful. Do something. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened. And, talking on this microphone has helped a lot because it's allowed for me to on a level, really rest my voice. Even though I am still talking, I don't have to full on project how I really have done my entire career. Just full on projecting when really that's not necessarily necessary. Um, but yeah, that's Love on Me This Beat, because really what the song is about is like, and what the feeling was when I came, I'm like, really what I do when I'm looking for answers, when I want to connect with God, my mom, the angels, etc., is I dance. And so I wanted to write a song that kind of expressed that feeling of like, when, like, play the right song so I can show up, pop off, do my shit, and dash. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, DJ, you're controlling the atmosphere, you're controlling the mood, but I need you to be responsible. Heavy is the head. You're controlling the room. So I need for you, especially when you see a legend like myself pull through, girl, I need for these beats to slam through. Okay, like Space Jam, bitch. Okay, I need for the nets to be burning in Inferno because this lamb was just so severe. Flames blazed through her trails. This is what we call for. The girls oftentimes, they were left hanging. And please, sincerely, if you can do so, and this is what I want to talk about, which is about these plans that keep shifting and moving. I'm like, but what I'm learning too, a part of this lesson, I don't know, there's so many aspects of it, but one aspect of it that I'm picking up is, okay, when you're the leader and when you're leading the household, this is what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be able to like pivot. And that's tiring. I'm here to tell you, but I also can see that it's possible because I'm doing it. I'm just, a lot of times we don't get what we're doing when we're doing it because we're just surviving and trying to get through it. But something about this iteration, it it's so intense. And we're weathering this storm. We're doing what we're doing. And as the situation is progressing, it's like, okay, solutions. And one thing that I like is that the solutions are I don't know if this is the right term, but I know what I'm saying in my mind. Like, there may be more than two, but the two things that stand out. A, they're action based, and then to B, for the most part, they're, well, no, I'll say all the way around, even though it's different. On one hand, it's like I'm using what I have to create the income. So that's my talents, that's my space. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, use what you have. You get what I'm saying? So, of course, everybody, first of all, we have the stand-up comedy. I think another thing of it's the same conversation, but outside of that other thing. Another part of this is, I feel, was almost, you guys, to put me, like, on alert, like, okay, get through this, and these are things that you need to get to. Huh? We'll see. We'll see how this pans out, however it shakes, but I'm just trying to feel the energy since it's already out there in existence, we've already talked about this. So I'm just trying to check the temperature of what's ahead, but I digress. So there's a few things. Number one, I told y'all about if this man or whomever was going to come through, if the offer was right, we would have to consider but the offer wasn't right. So then I'm like, girl, please, that just gave me the inspiration I really needed, because my thing was, I knew that was the last, even though the more I thought about it, the more it was like, this could be easier. And maybe this is the answer. But it was like, the truth is, I had to really work myself into that, because my thing is, I'm like, this house don't have that much to go. I can really pull this off, but I just have to get creative. One thing too that I want to address, when people have this sensation or the feeling of wanting to tell a person like me, oh, get a job. Okay, first of all, you're watching. So that shows that there's something of value here. However you want to see it, that's just true. Okay, if a balloon, I mean, it could be, but you're not going to sit there and just watch a balloon strapped to a mailbox for 3 hours. You wanna know why? Because that's boring. And there's no value there. Now, you might glance at her when you initially pull up and, okay, there's some balloons, but you're not going to sit there fixated on her unless you're on acid. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, you know what I do. But here's the other part, though, in all sincerity. I'm an artist. You bitches keep trying to scrunch me down to something that I'm not. And I have even tried to go that route. Now, here's the thing. I'm not opposed to it. But when I do a situation like that, if when I walk away, in particular for what I was enduring, I'm not trying to hear you because I wasn't even supposed to be working this fucking job. Do you understand me? Like you're not gonna be upset, or you could be, but you're gonna have to keep it on your side of the country, bitch. Not even your side of the neighborhood, because bitch, you can't stay with a bitch like me. I don't give a fuck. Because my thing is, use your brain. I'm talking to people who number one have empathy and can like understand what I'm saying. The bottom line is, bitch, I was never supposed to be working this job. But I was willing to do it to make things go round. But then I get there, and then this is what I'm having to endure. I'm reporting and reporting and reporting. Nobody's doing anything until I'm threatening to fucking sue. Now, I've been sexually harassed and all these other things then transpire. Bitch, fuck you. And if you can't, no, you can understand it. You're just trying not to. That's exactly how I feel. So, where was I? Okay, so boom. Homie came through. He was a nice enough guy. I actually liked the person. Him as a person. He seemed like a nice enough guy, his energy. But one thing before he even got here, I already had my own things where I'm like, okay, what would it take for me to really leave here? And what would I need to feel safe, stable, blah, 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 blah. So I already had a dollar amount in my mind. Now, when he came, okay, we went through the process. It's a lot of other things that happen, like just conversation. And maybe we'll get back around to the conversation, but I want to just focus on the point about the house. Okay, so boom. We do the whole thing. We go through the process. And then in the end, we sit down and boom. It's like, okay. Da 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 da. We're thinking we can do. Come on if you come in. So he goes, okay, so we can offer you cash. We can have it to you in a few days or however many days he said. $104,000. And I'm like, girl, please. No. Y'all are doing that. If that's the best you can do, the answer is absolutely not. What can I do with $104,000? Sweetheart, I can't even get a casita in Mexico for $104,000. You understand? So I was just like, girl, please. I wanted to have you come and us go through this process so I could just see what my options were and to see if it was possible. But if that's the best you can do, then that's absolutely not the answer. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, So boom, that happened. So then okay, well, what if we raise it to this? And so now I guess we're going through the negotiation phase. Because each time when he first told me that number, I was like, okay, if that's the best you can do, I sincerely appreciate you coming out. Yeah, because my thing was, I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, I don't have the energy. So I don't want to waste your time. If this is really the best you can do, I don't want to waste your time. Like, no, let's see. Okay, so 104, 125. Well, what if I can get it to 135? I can't even get the tiny house for this price. And even if I could get the tiny house, I can't get the land. It's like it's a trade up. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like it's total. It's like total downsize. Like not even you're going from a tiny house to it would have to be to a fucking storage unit. Like what? What are we talking about here? And it's this crazy. It's just crazy that the prices are so exorbitant that people literally can't even you can't afford to be alive. And they do that to people on purpose. You understand what I'm saying? Like regardless, like, okay, so let's be clear. Any bitch that want to sit up there and judge me, let's be clear about one thing, ho. You just a paycheck away. And we're not going to pretend like that's not the case. So, oh, you think you cute because you got 1 month ahead saved up, ho? You think you special? Bitch, don't you ever motherfucking look at me and judge and think that you're cute. Oh, you think because you got a job? You got a few months saved up. Okay, well, let's just wait for AI to come through and take your job. Then you'll be online too. Looking for compassion. Bitch, fuck you. You get what I'm saying? Because I don't got time for no bitch that's going to be stupid online. These bitches think they got so much security. I'm like, girl, you don't know. You don't know what tomorrow can bring. You don't know. You actually really don't. You think you do, but you don't. So think twice before you come at a conversation sideways. You get what I'm saying? But boom. And one more thing on the topic while we're on the subject. Okay, sweetie. See, you're looking at it all wrong. You're looking at it all wrong. First of all, for the one time when I went to jail, bitch, it wasn't criminal. Bitch, it was traffic citations. You bitches are criminal. Even if not in crime, in spirit. Just at the way that you would look at a person like me and really want to see harm, it's problematic. And you really will regret that. It's not going to age well. Especially when people can really see the true triumphs and like everything what I had to endure, whether win or lose. It's just, I put everything what these bitches claim to be doing after the fact. We don't know if it really happened that way or don't. But one thing you can say about my case is, see, that's the reason why these bitches so badly want to keep me down. You get what I'm saying? Because funnily enough, okay, I want to say two things, but let me finish with this and then, girl. And then if I can remember, I'll get back to the other point. The girl's not really looking at it right. Here's what people not understanding. I could have done so much between the PPP loan, even though I actually would have been legitimate. But just on the thought that I was like, okay, first of all, if my mom would have been here, she would have been understanding this can benefit you. But she wasn't here. And because I kept hearing so much fraud around that, I stayed away from that because I didn't want to be associated. What people not understanding is the reason why I'm struggling is not because I don't have talent. It's not because I'm not willing to work. Bitch, I don't fit into these fucking areas. You're looking at it because you're willing to, then again, I'm not even gonna say willing. Maybe you just naturally just blend into these areas. But girl, the bottom line is I'm a different kind of person. And whether you want to accept that or not, that's fine. Who cares what you want to accept? It's just a fucking truth. And what you think that I shouldn't have a right to provide for myself and earn a living? Bitch, I'm a fucking artist. And if you see me out here making music, bitch, that's me working. Because that's my fucking gift. That's my fucking craft. What the fuck you mean? Bitch, I am out here working. And these bitches always like to erase the facts of all the things that my attempts, just because the shit did not work out, did not mean that I wasn't working. If a bitch is pitching a show and she's a fucking writer and it looked like the shit was going to get bought or the show was going to sell or it was going to get picked up and the shit didn't, does that mean that the bitch wasn't working? Just because you keep pitching shows or writing songs and maybe one song got picked up and the other 6 songs didn't get it, bitch, does that mean you're not working? It's gaslighting, bitch. I'm out here hustling. And for the fact that I've been able to do it for this fucking long, that whole thing about me being on drugs, bitch, you can fucking let it go. Because me, by myself, raising the money, whether you think I'm begging or not, bitch, I have single-handedly did this shit by myself. What other bitch gonna come in here and say, yeah, I organized his bills. I sat there and did that. I had to go out and ask my ex, this person. I had to raise the money. I had to figure this shit out. Because if it wasn't for Me having to really sit down and figure this shit out wouldn't have been nothing for him to pay into. I had to do that. Oh, I'm on drugs? You bitches love to see a nigga that is a real one and then be so fake about it. Oh, why all these sexy reds and all this stuff? Bitch, you love it. You love to uphold this type of thing and then protect you. Just fake. Protect at all costs. I don't deserve no protection. A nigga like me don't deserve no protection. So when I come out here for a legitimate reason, I have to make all these explanations just to get a little bit. When clearly just through my character and what you've seen, bitch, you ain't never seen me in no fucking trouble. And for what the shit I have been into, bitch, I've come and said, oh, with that street brawl, bitch, and I'll beat them hoes up again because they're bullies. So I was still fucking standing on business, ho. You bitches would never see something and do something, bitch. So you want to come at me what? It's like it's insanity. I'm like, no, bitch, I'm out here. I'm actually working. I'm a fucking artist. Okay, if I was a fucking painter and I painted 30 fucking paintings and one of them sold and maybe the rest didn't sell, and maybe it took some time for me to get to a point where more of them were selling or whatever the case would have been, doesn't mean until they all sell out means that none of those paintings count. None of that effort and time and work counts. I wasn't working because just because I wasn't making money. You sound fucking stupid. Bitch, I have albums. I have put my fucking name, neck, ass, home, legacy, everything on the motherfucking line. For a promise and a fucking dream. You say faith. Bitch, if this is not it, I don't know what to fucking tell you. Because, bitch, at my age, and for as long as I've been doing this, most hoes would have been gave it up. How dare you? You are fucking insane. You're gonna sit up there and try to make it seem like what? Like what? I haven't earned it? Oh, I'm begging, bitch? Sweetheart, you got your confidence from watching hoes like me. And have the fucking audacity to turn your fucking nose up to me? Bitch, if I was out here in a burlap sack, fucking homage and respect. Period. I ain't no motherfucking going backwards and forth. Bitch, if I was laid up in the hospital as a fucking leper, homage and respect. The fuck are you disgusting? Why don't he get a job? Why don't he do this? Why don't he do that? Where's all the money? All the money. I'm sitting here 6 hours, can't even get $30. Where's all the money? All the money? What do you mean with the fuck all the money? Oh, 6 months ago I gave him $100. 6 months ago. Let's see, $100. Where can we put that? To a fucking bill. So it went to a fucking bill, idiot. So from 1 month that you did that to 6 months later, you don't think that same bill came 6 times? Where's all the money going, bitch? It's going to the shit that makes this shit run so you can even be here watching this shit. To food so I can stay alive. For water so I can wash my ass. The fuck are you talking about? You're a fucking moron. And you're a moron on purpose. And for everything I've been through, they'll be like, oh, it's because you got, girl, let me tell you something. I'm deserving. If you don't know me by now, you're never gonna know me. If you can't see my true heart and can't see that the reason why I have this rage, I have to have that. Because that's what kept me alive and kept me in the fight. Just really realizing, like, I really have to fight this hard. For all these people who writ all these emails throughout the years, all this stuff, and now when I really need the support, now I'm being made to feel like I'm begging. Begging? Are you serious? My mother dies, leaves. I become a homeowner. a fucking global pandemic that the world has never seen happens. This. I'm having to go through all this shit on my own. At the same time, these niggas out here thinking that they can pass judgment on me, girl, fuck you and suck a dick. And I'll say it 10 times. Backwards, bitch. The fuck you talking? Why should I be nice to people like this? Who aren't going to respect my contribution, and respect my story, and respect my pain, and respect where I come from. I'm supposed to sit up here because I'm so you don't want to acknowledge that I'm an artist when I'm actually saying it. Now, when I take these niggas' heads off, it turns to, he's a public figure. Look how he talked to his fans. But what are they fans of? If I'm not an entertainer, if I'm not an artist. So you bitches be double fucking talking because you so fucking stupid, you be tongue-tied. You ain't ever seen a bitch like me before. You know that. You know that. And you gonna really sit up here and let me get to the edge like that and have to be like out here like, girl, fuck you. If it crossed your mind to really sit there and be like, girl, here he go. Here he go. God forbid you or anyone you love to even have to take a percentage of what I've been through. Here he go. You better hope. You better pray. And think a fucking again, bitch. Because that's a curse on your fucking head. And if you ain't learned by now, one thing that time has showed us, bitch, we will all be touched. So you just better be careful. Because when your storm comes, you best hope you have even just a little bit of the grit and the same power of the fucking fight what I got. Bitch, you gonna be replaying these fucking lives and videos, bitch. To remember, where did he pull that strength from? I need some of that right now. Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do. You just better fucking hope and pray. While you sitting up here, somebody left some stupid ass comment, girl, fuck this bitch. Who the fuck is this idiot to comment on my shit? Some stupid shit. You're a fucking idiot. Okay? You're a fucking idiot. Period. And then when we all passive aggressive, girl, who is this? So anyway, he's like, okay, let me step outside, let me see, let me talk to my people, let me see. In my mind, I'm like, girl, it don't matter how much more are they gonna really boost this price? Because for the price you trying to buy me out for, I cannot go and get another house. Like I said, if I want to go to Mexico, where am I gonna get a house? Because I went on Zillow to look. Just out of curiosity, like, okay, maybe I can stretch these American dollars into pesos. Bitch, peso what? Because they know how to do it now. They know the trick. They're like, oh no, bitch. Because guess what we're gonna do? We're just gonna so yeah, the American dollar is more than peso, but we're gonna get our money's worth. So we're not gonna just okay, this right here, where you thinking, oh, I'm gonna come to Mexico and it's gonna go from 100,000 to 400,000. That's fine. Because what we'll do is make the price 2 million pesos or something that's gonna still equal that dollar amount in American. They're not stupid, sweetheart. So you still not gonna live in Mexico. You still can't live. You sure can't. And the only time the pesos really stretch out is when you go to the real area of Mexico that most people may not be trying to go. I'm talking about the part where it's like it's poor and it's like, well, bitch, if you want to buy some cheap dirt land here, that's fine. But if you want to live in the cute area where what you see on TV and the shit that you've seen in the TV shows, girl, that's gonna cost. Then I'm thinking, okay, let me look at Africa. I'm like, these bitches, I'm in the position where I'm thinking now, do I need to move about this motherfucking country, bitch? I'm like, okay, where can I go? Because if it comes down to it, I'm like, I'm just, like I said, I'm not saying that that's what I'm gonna do, but I was just trying to see just what could you do? This was even before this offer came through. I was just trying to see what the price points, like where does it start? Like what is like the minimum, the general average price? I'm saying, okay, girl, Uh-uh. I mean, in fact, in Mexico, back to Mexico, their prices, they actually just list them as American, so you can just see up front what it will cost you. And when I went on there, I'm like, girl, this is American. It was like 350,000, 400,000, 1.5 million. I'm like, so what is this idea people keep talking about? Oh, it's so cheap to live in Mexico. Not what I'm saying. Where did they get their house? I don't know. But I mean, maybe you can get the land cheaper and maybe then I don't motherfucking know. But bitch, it's just tiring. But okay, boom. So he goes outside and he's doing what he's doing. He's having his conversation with his colleague. And he comes back. First, he was like, "Oh, can I use the bathroom?" He was like, "I'm like, he looked like he was about to pee for real, for real." I was like, "Okay, no, good." You know. So he went to the bathroom, and when he came back, we actually talked about. Well, we had talked about this kind of throughout. You know what I'm saying? Just like my art and stuff, and kind of like the idea of the fact of what I was telling him, which is I really don't want to sell this home. If I did this, this would be really as a last resort. I really actually don't want to sell this home though. Because what I was explaining to him is what I know is that if y'all put the money in that I wish I had to put into this house, if the whole goal is for you to sell it, it's gonna sell. It's in a great location. It's in literally even just within this neighborhood, it's positioned great. It's just too many benefits. I went down the list. And so I'm like, so I know what the value of this house is. And if I have to keep fighting, you know what I'm saying, to hold on to it because that is not enough, then that's what I'm going to do because I wanted to see what the possibilities were, what were my options, but that's not good enough. And so, he was like, okay. What about if I may have to run it past them, but I'll do it later. What about 150? I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I know you're doing your job, but 150 won't cut it, baby. It just won't do. Okay, what about 200? And he was like, and then you could take like a year to just think, like you could get an apartment, you could take a year to like just focus on your music and just think about what you want to do. And I'm like, but then I would be renting. But then when I ran the idea past my ex, he thought that made sense too. And I'm like, am I tripping? I don't think that sounds like a downgrade to go from owning my house and only having, it's just because I'm struggling right now is why this is happening. But it's not a lot left to this house. It is just, to me, would make no sense to, at almost over the halfway mark, to sell my house, go into an apartment, and be paying them. And then for that year, that's taking a cut into that profit. So that means basically I would just have to, every year, just like, no, but you would still be working. My thing is, I don't want to have to work this job. And it's just, I don't know. I'm just like, it's just the idea of me knowing like I'm burning through all this money and it's burning through me just renting. It's not for ownership, it's for renting. And if I went with this money and I put it towards a down payment, I would be in more debt with that new house than I am with this house. It's like a lose. I'm not seeing the advantage in that. If I rent, I'm just burning through the money. And then eventually, whether I was working that whole time, which I'm saying that's going to make me be in a position where I feel like I have to go and get a 9-to-5. Because I know this money can run out. But if I own my home, the only thing I would have to do is just rent a room. But in an apartment, they would be able to tell me what to do. Oh, you can't do that. You can, like, I just feel like that's put me in a bad position. Maybe that is the better idea, but in my mind right now, I don't see that. I'm like, I'm saying I want stability. I'm saying I want to be at peace. But again, he can only make the offer that they'll allow him to make, or where he won't get paid. Because I'm not trying. I don't want. He's doing his job. He has a job to do. They have to make a profit. I get all that. But like I told him, and we actually got along really well. He was really cool. But here's what's crazy about him. So he was a nice guy. Actually, like I said, I liked him. And at some point, I don't know how we got to this, but it was something like, because I had said to him before, I was like, yeah, you have a grounded level energy, something to that effect. How did the sign come up? I don't remember how it came up, but it came up where he was like, nobody ever guesses mine right. I'm like, nobody ever guesses it right. And I think that came from something where I was giving attributes, and he said, well, see if you can get it. I was like, okay, well, you're grounded. You have like a humble energy about yourself that feels rooted. It's an energy that feels stable and maybe dependable. It's reminding me of my ex. So I would guess Taurus. And guess what? He was a fucking Taurus. And he was like, that is not, he was like, that's crazy. I was like, well, I just based it off of what the attributes I'm just seeing naturally in front of my face. And that's what I felt like. So, boom. And anyway, towards the end, and I feel like that appointment went on for like 4 hours. I don't know. I could be tripping, but it went on for a long time. I'm not even mad at that because I kept talking and I kept saying, you know what? Let me stop talking so you can get back to your job. And he was like, no. Like, but y'all know I'm a talker. So I'm like, no, you have to stop encouraging me to finish this story. Because if you're saying, oh no, like keep going, then now you know what I'm saying? Because that's just what I do naturally, just as a kid up till now. So anyway, though, we actually had a great rapport. I mean, outside of him coming to do his job, and he did a great job. It's just I felt maybe I should give this one more chance to try to save my house. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even maybe. I was already feeling that way, but I was just like, what are my solutions? With this house party, we have to raise money that I'm struggling to raise, and I'm already exhausted. And I can't keep saying the same thing, and like, I'm exhausted. Because whatever energy I'm going to need for this party, I need to be like, so I was like, okay, I need to have in the meantime. So anyway, I think I may or may not have told you about that mother-son tenant situation. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But I had calculated, okay, what would I need to catch up? And I put that in my calculator on my phone. And then maybe 5 minutes later, the mom, she wrote me and was like, okay, do you think that this price can work? And for the price that she gave, it was like $50 off from the price that I needed. But I'm like, okay, I can still close that gap. $50 off, I'm not worried about that now. If it would have been like $500 off, then it would have been like, it would have been a struggle. But for the number, not even a struggle, it wouldn't have been able to happen. But for the number what she gave, it's a number that I can work with. And a benefit is that her son is a plumber. Now, I want to ask a question to the audience and see what y'all think. Number one, there are some plumbing situations that he can look and attend to. But is it just me? And maybe I'm tripping, but is it like the arts where a lot of time people in the arts, okay, well, if you can sing, a lot of times you can dance, a lot of times you can do more things than just sing. You get what I'm saying? You can write, you can act, like it's multiple things you can typically do. I'm wondering if in like that area, if it's like, well, my main thing is plumbing, but I can also do drywall. I can also do like a little bit of this, a little bit of that type of thing. Because in addition to closing the gap, which I'd be able to do immediately, like as far as the mortgage goes, I can do that immediately. And then I'd be caught up, and then it would just be like maintaining. And then I'd have at least some space and breathing room to think. Okay, so that's that on the mortgage. But then I want to get caught up on the utilities too. So now here's what I'm thinking. The house party idea, because this tenant situation, I may have to put that on ice, because my thing is the house party thing, I need to raise money just to throw it. But then too, we got to build it up. Like the first one, I'm sure the first one will be popping, but to grow it up, get the word out. And that may take some time, and it may take time that I don't have at this moment. But I actually, between the stand-up comedy thing, of course, my music is always going to be a mainstay. I'm saying my music, the stand-up comedy thing, and this house party thing. And then there's a few other like umbrella ideas that are like fall underneath those things. But what I'm saying is this will stabilize me so that we can flesh this house party idea out, so that we can even save money and be able to, I won't have to, you get what I'm saying? Like, it'll just put me in a better position to just like, okay, catch my breath, let everything like, let me breathe a little bit, let me just, and then what I also did, I think I may have told you, I may not have, I don't remember, but my neighbor across the street, but she's not gonna be the only one that I reach out to. But she was actually gonna come to the house party, and not only that, but my plan was once we grow it out and it gets bigger and all that other stuff, she has a cleaning service. And I said, well, shit, we can just hire your cleaning service to come and clean up the next day. Or whatever, how we would do it the next day, later on that day. However, excuse me. But anyway, so with this, the whole reason why I said all what I said at the beginning of the show was to say this. I know it sounds like I'm like all over the place, but that's not for no reason. It's because my mind is making calculations and looking at all of the situation. What am I dealing with? And to the best of my ability to really calculate what makes the most sense right now. The house party thing is a great idea. That's going to take a little bit of time. It would be quicker than the stand-up comedy thing. See, these are my projections. I could be totally wrong. I could do that stand-up comedy thing one night and pop off just because the right person was in the audience. So you really can't say, but just on paper, let's just assume that's not the case. Like, let's assume I'm going to go in there and maybe let's just say my first night I slam dunk it. Okay, but I may need to continue and be consistent and just, you know what I'm saying? This is something that's more of a time investment that will pay out later. House party is a time investment, a smaller time investment. It's a payout, and it's a quicker payout. And really, they're equal potential because depending on how that's done, how it's branded, how the product is put out, you know what I'm saying, can determine how big that can go. But my point is, both of them are time investments. I need to figure out what I can do right now that would make sense. And in all honesty, even just what dawned on me the other day, I'm like, even that it's a mother and a son, I've been dealing with the mom, which is how I would be doing it if my mom and I were doing a situation. She would probably be the one dealing with whomever if we were going to be doing something like that, like, oh, we're moving together, we're living together. So it reminds me of my mom and I. Now, of course, I've never met these people, so they could be a total disaster. God forbid. I need people to pray on this, you guys, because if all this works out, you guys, we're back in the game. And not only that, but you know what I'm saying? It could be advantageous for everybody, which has always been my goal. So even though it would be now here's the thing though. So the house party idea would be put on ice, but now the stand-up comedian idea gets pushed back out front because see, now that's something that, okay, well, I have time to kind of focus on the stand-up comedy thing because now at least I have money coming in, whatever the case may be, to keep the lights on. See how the priority it's just, I have to have the ability to say, well, okay, this, like, to be able to see that and be able to understand, well, how can we work around and be able to at least tap into one of these things? Because initially it was a stand-up comedy thing, then it went to the house party thing. And the tenant thing was always there. It was just something that I really didn't want to do. But this is a scenario where, okay, if I can really help this mom and son, A. B, he can help my house. C, we close the gap. They're safe. I'm safe. I'm making repairs on the house. You know what I'm saying? We're working as a team. Because here's my thing. I'm sure of it. She told me something to the effect of she's disabled. She didn't tell me what the disability was. I'm not prying. But the point is I would be willing to help. My thing is, I don't mind that. If you come here and the energy y'all come with will be the energy will come with. Let's treat it like a family. You got to go out and do your plumbing thing. Your mom, if she needs help, I don't mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can cook breakfast. I can do these little things. But my only issue with those things is when it's taken for granted and when niggas think that, oh, now you're maid service. You get what I'm saying? So the girl across the street, I reached out to her because I'm thinking to myself, okay, all right, we get the inshallah. And see, this is where the anxiety comes in. So we still need to raise money because we'll get into that. But it's no longer for the house party. It's like it's shifting, and you have to understand if you're on this roller coaster with me, and any person who is just living life, you have to understand that's what life is. Okay, we're throwing ideas out. All of these ideas are great, but it's what makes the most sense right now. And right now, when they come on the 30th, and I know that from what she said in the email, you know that they really need to leave out the house for whatever the reasons were, but you know they need to kind of be out ASAP, and they're looking. And what the trouble is, I think, is that she's disabled and maybe requires whatever she requires, and people are not against it. It's just maybe their homes don't have that setup. Or maybe in my case, they don't want to give up their room. I actually will give it, because at first I was like, but then I thought if it's something where it would just be better for her to be down there, then that's fine with me. I don't really care, because it's going to be saving the home. She'll be good. He'll be good. Like, if it really what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If we're really working together and we're being reasonable, we're making reasonable requests, and we're being just fair with each other, which is really all I'm asking. I don't need you to kiss just be fair with me. Have your rent, you know what I'm saying? Take care of my home. And we can do this thing together. Okay. But so anyway, between her and maybe whatever she may need that they may not have, like, oh, we don't have this, we don't have that. And then with her son, and it needs to be a place that has 2 rooms, not 1. Most tenants, they rent to individual people, because oftentimes when they do it as a set, they try to get a discount, which, you know, it's no right or wrong. It's just what it is. So, because some places are like, no, you're a rent and he's a rent. And actually, that's how I felt. But when she made the offer and she said, okay, so for me and my son, how does this sound? She made her offer. What she don't know is 5 minutes before, I had said, what would I need to close the gap? And she was only $50 off from what I said. I said, okay, I can work with that. I can work with the $50 gap. That I can work with. Okay. I told her, I said, that'll do. And she said, not only that, but my son, he can work on the house, you know, the plumbing. So I said, what you're doing is you're providing value. And for that, I would be willing to make reasonable reconfigurations for her. Like, for example, I'm trying to think what I could do. Like, so for example, if this, we would have to work on this, and this would have to be a project because it wouldn't happen overnight. But like, let's just say she needed this to be a bedroom. Well, then I would have to move my office downstairs to the room that's the guest room. You get what I'm saying? But if they're really going to come with that kind of value, I can make some changes. We'll have to see what the situation is. But like I say, I know that they're in a situation where they need to find another spot, and they need to find a spot that will accommodate them. I get it. And my thing is she gave me a fair price, because I actually didn't tell her. Like, she saw what it was listed for. It's just like, oh, maybe we can talk about the price. But before we ever spoke about it, she ended up just saying, you know, for me and my son, how does this sound? So that tells me that was what she felt was reasonable for her. And in fact, it was reasonable because she only came $50 beneath my price of what I calculated I would need. So, you said you are absolutely. Let me see. I have been missing so many comments. That's because I was venting, and y'all know how I do, family, when I get into one of my things. But let me hit some comments. Let me scroll up. It would be nice if he did electrical. And here's the thing, I can help. I'm not saying he got to sit back and do all the work by himself. Like, he'll just be the lead person. I'll just be the assistant. Like, oh, can you hold this so I can drill this? Or, okay, hold the ladder steady. Or, okay, I filled this up with trash. Can you take the trash out? Like, things that I can do to make the job easier. I want it to be smooth for everybody. That's the thing. I don't want it to be rough for them. I don't want it to be rough for me. Like, that's what's so crazy to me. I'm like, yo, this shit can be so simple. Like, it's just, for whatever reason, when niggas get around me and they see, wow, he really is fair and he really is that way, they always try to take advantage. I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? Who really actually raised you in real life? Like, who raised you? Because that is, to me, in a world where you know how humans can be and how people say one thing, do something else, or be feeling this way, then be feeling another way, be fair weather people, like, you know what we up against. So when you meet a nigga that when you get around him it's reasonable and actually, like, you can see how I am, like, I'm outside dancing, like, I'm out here doing my own thing, like, I don't get in your way. It's like I do my thing, we speak, like, I'm reasonable. So what's the reason for you to try to get over and do stupid shit? What's the reason for that? I don't understand that. So, like I said, I'm willing, within reason, like I say, to do what can be done to accommodate, in particular, the mother who has a disability. Again, she has not expounded on that. I don't know if she's. I honestly couldn't tell you. I mean, it would all be speculation. What is it? Scoliosis, spinal bifida? I don't know. You get what I'm saying? Is it MS? Is it terminal? Like, I don't. She literally, all she said was disability, and then she had said something about, can a van get to the back just in case? And I'm like, can a van get, like, what is this disability? But to me, I don't really need to know. It's more just when you come here, when you look around, if there's a way for us to accommodate you, we can do that. You need a place. I need the income. Your son needs a place. I also could use the work. We can all help each other. I would just really need to know what I was dealing with so I would even know what the accommodation would even be. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't know what I'm dealing with. Does she have legs? Like, she might not have legs. I mean, I honestly just don't know. So it could be anything. And I'm like, and that would affect, like, okay, what are we saying? Do we need it? Like, what are we saying? Because do we need to put are y'all gonna come here and say, oh, can we install one of these elevator stair things where you sit on the stairs and they drive upstairs? You get what I'm saying? I don't know. But I have to consider it, especially the position that I'm in. And then also, if it's true, if they're saying they're only, because what she said in the email was, oh, it sounded like they were moving not because of anything negative. It was just because I guess the people who house it was, they were going to sell it, or something happened where they needed that house back without tenants in it. And so that's what brought them to move. Oh my God, that's my girl that's what I'm saying. One of my coworkers from the old job. I'm gonna call her later, see what she's up to. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let her know. Because that's what I was gonna say. If I get these 2 tenants, even if I just temporarily got a full-time job. Okay, hold on. Okay. I have to call. That's the Disney princess. And my coworker. So I got 2 text messages at the same time. That's funny. Okay, so let me get to. Yeah, so okay, so you do think you said plumbing, electrical, and carpentry. Girl, oh my God. They would be dream tenants. So that's what I'm saying. Number they bring if their temperaments, because that's what they said too. Like we're open minded and all this and you know. So I'm like, if they could potentially be dream tenants. Like after honestly think of it, after all of the strife I've been through, after all of the trauma, to end up with like this dream scenario where I'm thinking, okay, mother and son, that's what I thought about too. I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about this. But mother and son means because before I was like, okay, if I get 2 tenants, they would be strangers to me, but also strangers to each other. Something makes me feel by it being mother and son, the son will be more like respectful, because his mom is in the house, that she's disabled and they're together makes me feel like he's helpful to her. And like that makes me feel safer. I don't know. It just makes me feel like it, it's, it makes me feel like I'm getting I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm getting the 2 tenants, but they're not strangers to each other. They already know each other. They're mother and son. So at least they'll have that comfort level. And I think their comfort level with each other will play into my comfort level with them because of how and that's another thing, because they're mother and son, I think they're gonna want to get stable and like be safe with each other. Like, let's make this work because we want to stay together and get comfortable in a space. Like, it just feels like a better fit. And what do I know? I'm always trying to see the positive, like, oh, this time it might work, this time it might work, maybe this time it might work, this time. Each time I go into this, I'm praying for it to work. I'm not going into it hoping for it not to work. Anything I do, I want it to work, but you should post in the Reddit Atlanta music subreddit. Reddit, you think that might be an avenue? I never even considered that, honestly. And get the word out for the party. That's something to consider. But like I said, right now, because this tenant situation can happen on the first, I'll have that money. I can put all that cash into the mortgage. Boom, I'm caught up. I can breathe. But once I move them in, I won't be able to do those house parties. Now, there's an upside. That gives me time to plan. Although they were like they wanted a long lease, my thing is this: if I like them, I'll allow that, especially if they're helping my house. Because to me, they're adding value. Like they're adding value. Like not only are they covering my mortgage 2 times over, but they're also like beautifying my house and doing things that I couldn't do for myself. Not without paying someone with money that I don't have at this moment. So for me, it's a win-win. But like I said, I reached out to homegirl and said, listen, I just explained to her the situation. My mom, when she was honest with her friends about what was going on, they helped her. Like I told you, Miss Cynthia, the lady who, when my mom almost lost the house because of the restaurant and just everything that was going on, how she saved it was because she told the truth. If she would have just lied and been like, oh, everything is okay, we would have lost the house. She told the truth. And just as she went forward and people just understood what she was going through, people just, okay, you need a job, you need this, you need that. People would hire her to cater and make plates. And then eventually one of her younger colleagues who was at a school that I actually remember this teacher. She was like, I don't know, maybe when she started, when I was a kid, she like a teenager, she might have been like 22. She was young. But so now, by the time and then my mom was always good with her. She invited my mom to her wedding. My mom always liked her and saw potential in her. But anyway, when my mom really needed this job, this was towards the end of her life before she got sick though. When she really needed this job, she went to that job fair. And because she had so much experience, people really didn't want to give her the job because of how much they would have to pay her versus a newer teacher. But when Miss Candace saw her, she was like, Sabrina? And when my mom explained to her situation, she was like, girl, no, come with me. And she literally got my mom that job. At the last school that my mom worked at, it was because of her friend and connection that she made all the years back at that other school that I remember this lady. And so for me, I'm like, okay, let me start placing some calls because God willing, I'm truly praying we'll make whatever accommodations we need to make for the mom. If it's within my power to do it, I can't, like, if I don't have the resources or like, but if she needs the bottom bedroom, like my mom's old bedroom, I'm willing to give her that because it has the sliding doors and it's on that. I mean, I don't know, but either way, all the bedrooms have stairs to get to them. The only other choice against that would be her taking my office, which the only thing where she still would have to go up some form of stairs would be for the bathroom or to take a shower because there's a bathroom here, but there is not a shower. So we can work it out. Whatever. And like I said, I would even be willing to help the mom. When the son is working, I'm typically here. So you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm staying a full-time job, but even if I do full-time, I could do a work from home. My homie, the one that I recently reconnected with, he told me, I can maybe get you in for Apple support. Is that something you would want to do? And I'm like, let me sleep on it. But now I'm thinking, I'm like, if I 2 tenants plus a full-time job through Apple support or something like that, not only will I close the gap, I can jump ahead and dabble in this stand-up comedy situation, be stacking bread, you know what I'm saying? And then even if I was going to do the house party, at this point, I might be able to just rent out an area and throw the party at the club. Not a club, but, or maybe a club, but just wherever the venue would be. Some popping area that's near, because I don't want to do no far away, one of these far out. Girl, give me something cute. You know what I'm saying? And we might, I mean, again, we're pivoting, but let's get through this part. Like, once I wrap up with y'all, I'm going to like really do it deep. Like, I've already been cleaning, but like now that everything is kind of like generally clean, now let's go behind that and sweep, like double sweep, mop, vacuum the carpet, freshen up. You know what I'm saying? Just all of the things to really make sure that the home is just that it's ready to be shown. And like I said, I don't know what her disability is, but like I told her, I said when my mom got sick, they took the fence down, like not the whole fence, but like just that part where that middle part where it's the part where you can open it and close it, that whole part, so that they could drive cars down there and pick her up. So I know that, and I guess even though my mom was sick, I guess at that point you could consider it like disabled, like she couldn't, as things progress, then the car, like sometimes she would take the stairs, but I mean, she probably took the stairs more often than they drove that car back there, but sometimes they did drive the car back there to pick her up. So I know that that's a possibility, but a van, like, you mean like an ambulance? Like, she's kind of vague on that, and I think she's doing that because she doesn't want to deter me, but I'm saying, sweetheart, you could pretty much be, what's the lady's name? I forget her name. Helen Keller, girl, you could be Helen Keller. At this point, we need to get some girls in here, and actually, I think a mother son, just on paper, it sounds like a good idea, and it would close the gap for me. Honey, I don't care, and I'm a Scorpio, baby. You can't scare me. I don't care about it. And you see, I've been around all of that before, plenty of times, just throughout life, known people like. So what is it? I don't care, but I would need to know something to kind of think of if it's going to be something that needs an accommodation. You get what I'm saying? Like, I would need to know something. Is it a wheelchair? See what I'm saying? Because I would need to know, because then it's like, okay, What I'm gonna have to do is get another key made and give you a key. So what we can do is you can come through the back entrance that doesn't require any stairs, and you could just let yourself into your bedroom through the back without the stairs. I don't know, but again, I'm just trying to think of, not knowing anything about what the condition is. I'm just trying to think of any possible thing. Okay, what if she can't walk? Okay, what if it's crutches or like some kind of like assisted walking? Like, is it a walking cane? Like legally blind, all the way blind? Like, what are we dealing with? I'm just trying to understand what we're dealing with so I can understand what could be done. So, yeah. Of course, you'd have to vet and get their social media. Yeah, and you see my point, though, Slender? What I'm saying is, you're not wrong about that. But what I'm saying is, these are things that take time. And right now, we just got to get the bills paid. So, I'm not against that whatsoever. It's just, me too, baby girl. Truly, truly, truly. Like this. Did I want to do tennis again? No. But if, for how but then, like I said, there was the one guy who was a part of the family who was going to do it, but then something went down with that. So then I had to keep it moving because, I got bills to pay, you know what I'm saying? So I got to figure shit out. So right behind him, I got a hit with this mom and son. And, I understood through her email that, we're kind of needing to move quickly. And it's just kind of like, okay, God, like, I'm trying to do my best to hear what you want me to do. That's the reason why I'm open to all of the options. That's why when you brought the stand-up comedian thing back, I was open to that. That's why when you brought the party thing to me, I was open to that. That's why, because I'm open to whatever you say is the option. Whatever makes sense to make this happen. That's why when you said even selling the house, like what will make the most sense to make this all happen? When I say this all, I mean like the vision, the purpose. Because what I can't do is just live my life in total stress. I'm like, oh God, how are we going to keep doing it? So, but anyway, so I understood they need to move quickly. So I was like, that works out for me because I need someone in here quickly. And like I said, I know it's harder to rent to two people at this, like not two people in general, but like two people who are coming in like, oh, we're coming in together. Because oftentimes they're not wanting to pay one rent. They're wanting to pay like a discounted rate because they came together. But in this case, it actually worked out. And they clearly gave a fair price because the price was literally only $50 under what I needed. So I wasn't going to be like, oh, can we bump now? My thing is, if you're fair with me, I'm fair with you. You gave me a fair price just because, in me knowing I'm in a vulnerable situation, but they don't know that. They're sharing with me their situation, and I'm not going to take advantage of that. You met the number that I needed. I'm willing to work with you. Let's do it. Like, we can help each other. Like, that's really what this is all about. But people always get it wrong. Like, what are you doing? Like, honestly, what are you doing? It's embarrassing a lot of times. So I'm like, so somebody does you right and you betray them. Okay, got it. Or you sabotage them, or you just are rooting for their downfall. Like, what is this? It's just, it's not even that it surprises me. It's just the level of distaste is so, like, it's so bitter. It's one of those things where it's one of those, like, because of the bitterness of it, like, that's what you do to a good person? Okay, let's see. You said you are absolutely once in a lifetime landlord that everyone deserves to have someone who cares for. For real. Reminds me of my old landlord who. See, that's what I'm saying. But see, it goes both ways. Finding a great landlord and finding those tenants who appreciate it. See how you just spoke lovingly of this lady? Because she was so loving and you actually saw that as like a thing of value. Like, oh, like she cares about me and she's not just trying to like, oh, you get what I'm saying? Like, but that goes both ways. I'm sure she thought, what a lovely, I'm so glad to have this young lady in my home. Like, You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a pleasure. When it works out like that, it's the best thing. It's the best thing. And I absolutely am willing to make the changes, especially if they're like things that I can do. Like, okay, you need this bedroom. I will, what's the word? Release. I will release this bedroom unto you. If it makes more sense with your disability, that we can, so we don't have to worry about that. And then also in this bedroom, that project, since that flood, now there's more wood. Well, I can actually go and do the same thing I did before to that wood that, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that would be something that maybe her son can help with. But again, the possibilities are endless. We first just gotta meet and all that other stuff. And then just see, because the thing about it is, I'll meet you where you meet me. This is not a new home. It needs work. I'm willing to, you know what I'm saying, bring you in on the strength of the fact of, number one, met my dollar amount. Number two, y'all need to stick together. Number three, he can do work on the house. To me, this is all a win for everybody. So, yeah. And actually, you know, I'm thinking I may give her the guest room, or what I'm using as the guest room, not the guest room, but what I'm using as the guest room. Why? Because that's closer to the bathroom. And the water damage to the wood did not affect that room. So she wouldn't have to wait for me or her son or us both to do those repairs to my mom's room, because that room was totally unaffected. So it might make more sense to give her that room and just clear that room out. I can call the college dudes or whatever that thing I called before, have them come and pick up, because I'm like, get rid of it. Just get rid of it, because I don't have room for it. Just take all this shit and get rid of it so she can put her stuff in here. We can find a solution. We can find a solution. Yeah. But the thing about that is, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. It's not even a thing about it. I was just thinking out loud of a potential other maybe obstacle, but not really. Okay. He said, like Spectre said, yeah, landlord, to be honest, we need more landlords. The tenant, I don't mind working with my landlord to secure longevity. Right. To me, that's the smart way to do it. And that's the right way to do it. And I think that's what God enjoys to see best. I've struggled to find people who will work with me in that way. And I think when they get around me, they take me for granted and try to take advantage of my kindness, which pisses me off. Because I'm like, you see why people aren't nice? This is why. You can't be nice to niggas. Because look what happens. They try to run you down. Why? Why have to do good business? And know that you're safe and secure and that you're dealing with a nigga that's never gonna cross you like that. I'm not gonna get weird with you. I'm not gonna be in your space and, oh, let me see. Like, just respect my home. Don't bring no hard drugs in my home. Don't bring no contraband, no weapons. You know what I'm saying? Like, just have the general common sense of keeping the house safe and secure. I don't need to go rummaging through your things. We're adults. Like, just common sense. And my thing is, with this family, if we take a chance on each other, I would even be okay cooking for the house. You get what I'm saying? Like, that would be, if her son is going to be doing the repairs and she, you get what I'm saying? They together collectively are helping me to close the gap. My contribution can be, I will assist your mother and I will cook for the house. And I will do general cleaning. But now that your son, who is the plumber, is here, he got to take the trash out. Last time the arrangement was I was taking the trash out of the house, and I was over that. So I help your mom. I cook for the house. I do general cleaning. But your son got to take the trash out. He got to take it out on Tuesday too. And look, um, if they really come in here and got it going on, girl, we might even like. It just depends on how much I like them. Like if it really comes across like, oh, this is a family. I feel like this is a family. Like especially watching like mother and son. You know, I of course that's going to endear itself to me because of my mom. But if like seeing their love and they love each other and they're kind to me, I would see. I would go above and beyond for that because then it's like we're all getting benefits. Y'all are helping me to keep my home. Your mom is safe. I'm helping her. I'm cooking for the house. So you out there working. There's something for you to eat. There's breakfast. Like and if I can wake up at 3:20 for this raggedy job, I can wake up at like say 5 o'clock to get breakfast going. That would be like a vacation by comparison to waking up at 3:20. Make breakfast. Like I wouldn't be against doing like a bed and breakfast idea. Like not saying this would be bed and breakfast, but I'm saying like the concept of, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I don't know. She might be getting SSI. You out there working a job. You go bring the bacon, bring home the bacon. Let me cook it up. Make sure it's beef bacon or chicken or whatever else. Turkey, I don't care. Just not pork. And honey, I'll have it going on. Honey, I will have it going on. Your mom is safe. One thing about it, like, and if she cool, cause she said that in the email, like, we're really cool people. Da, 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 da. I'm like, all right, I'm not against that. I'm sure you are. Like, I would love to have a situation where, especially because she's probably gonna be home all the time. So shit, if you home all the time, in my dream scenario, I got to a point where I'm like, we don't have to be friends because that never worked. It typically doesn't work out what I've seen because they take advantage of you. They're like, oh, that's my friend. Oh well, then they start doing stupid shit. But if it can happen organically, where it's like when it just be her and I at the crib, like after she finishes working, if she's doing, I think she has a working home job. I really don't know, honestly. I really don't know exactly, but regardless, I don't know. These people could be a nightmare. They could be incredible. And what's funny is the answer is already out there. And the main thing would first be to get a yes. But to me, as long as I get that yes and get the lease signed, everything else I'm willing to figure out. I'm willing to work with you all. I'll throw in, to me, and here's the thing, I love cooking. And if I had a reason like, okay, that's one of my things that I'm contributing to the household, it would be no tea. And actually, that would make things less complicated. Where it's like, oh, these are my foods. These are my foods. If I cooked food for the week for the house, then everybody would just know this is the food for the house. That would lessen confusion. It will make things easier for your son. It will make things easier for you since you're disabled. Let me do the cooking. I don't mind. I gotta eat too. So why not just cook for everybody? And then that way, he will have the confidence to go out there and work because he would know there's somebody here with his mom, and then also who's a cool energy, and then also that she's eating like. I don't know exactly what her condition is. This lady may be able to walk to the fridge just fine. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of the ways that we can add value because I can see where it's value for me. And I can see where it's value for them too. The only monkey wrench is that disability because my thing is because I don't know what it is. I'm thinking, how can I accommodate something? But how can you accommodate the something that you don't know what it is? It could be anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, she literally just said disability. Could be Tourette's. I mean, considered a disability? I don't know. But I'm just saying it could be like Parkinson's. Like, I don't actually know. It literally could be anything. So I was like, I guess we'll see. We'll see when she gets here. We will see. But like I said, if I did get like a full-time job just for like maybe 5 months, I don't know, you guys. I'm trying to figure this shit out. I want to do it because all I know is whatever I do, I don't want to be struggling through it. Oh, like dreading to go to work because of this and that reason. Can't go to sleep, going to work on literally zero sleep. Like, you went to work, you've been up since that last day and into this day, and now you're working again. It's like, it's too much. I would love for this to work out for everybody, the mom, the son, and me. He said, will you be able to see the son's pay stubs or tax returns? No, but I don't need to because the company that they come through, they do the background checks. You get what I'm saying? So whatever, what am I saying? Whatever job they got, the company already knows. And already seen what they need to see to validate, okay, this person got a job, this is the pay stub, or whatever they needed to see for them to get to the next stage with me of being able to like come and make an appointment to see my house. They had to pass that first part of like being able to prove their job and all that other stuff. We need to know he's not secretly a drug dealer taking care of his mom. That is so funny. It's that like the dealers that be pulling up with their mom in the car. That is the thing, but I don't think that's the case here. You never know, because again, I don't know these people, and who knows what type of tricks a person can pull on a system. I don't know. So happy you were able to work it out with the brother and son. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because my only issue before was, okay, is she thinking pay the one rent and then they both come? Which to me was asinine. I knew that couldn't possibly be what she meant. But I think she wanted to come down on the price. And in all honesty, if this is her coming down on the price, that means wherever else they could go is more expensive than that for the two of them. Because I'm like, if this is the price that you felt like was reasonable for you, how much were you paying before? But regardless of that, or what were you seeing on the market like that was making you think that even my price initially was too much? But like I said, the price she threw out actually was fair. I didn't have it wasn't worth me to throw a counter because I was okay with what she threw out. But in all honesty, other than him being a plumber, she just wanted me to know he has a job and he works and he's a good man and all this other stuff. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm not against it. I just need to because I'm actually okay with doing a discount rate for 2, but it needs to be reasonable. And theirs was reasonable. I was okay with that. I'm like, okay, I can work with this. This is fair. Like, it's not like, oh, can we, like, you only put $100 on top of, this is not a dog. But, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? And see what that could be. See what that can, where that can go. For sure. Especially for the timeline you're working with. Exactly. Random question, how come you don't? Yeah. No, I actually do have TikTok, sweetheart. But I think maybe I need to rename it so people can find me easier. I think maybe I named it what I named it in the beginning because I was like, girl, I don't know what TikTok is. Just like in the beginning when I started YouTube, no different. I was Tamaya in the beginning before I was Quadir. So I was like, what is this? Y'all are killing me. He said, enough. It is enough of that. Maybe it's just gotta love those. Okay. Yeah, because I don't even know what the comment is because he said, how is the camping trip cute? You know what? We actually didn't do, there was a number of things we didn't do towards the end, but I think what it was is there was something going on, I don't know, maybe with work, but whatever the case is, we had to cut it short. And that was actually okay with me because there were things I had to get back to too. But, it was what it was. But, the actual cruise, the thing that we did do was incredible. But we actually didn't do the camping and whatever else was, planned for that. It's like some things just came up and, it happens. Let me see. Be careful of thinking ahead too much and potentially. You said thinking ahead too much. Yeah, I mean, me thinking ahead, I don't know what I think. I definitely agree with not being too nice, but I think I disconnected with how thinking ahead equates to being too nice. Is it because I'm like making all these concessions? Do you feel like, oh, you're being too nice by making breakfast? To me, if I'm making breakfast, I'm eating too. You get what I'm saying? And the truth is, I used to like cooking for my mom and I. Here's the thing. I don't mind doing it if it's appreciated. Now, being too nice would come if I felt that the things that I'm throwing in there are being taken advantage of, or that I myself just overall being taken advantage of. Then, but I don't mind. I truly don't mind. We can figure out like, okay, your son, he can do the repairs. I can be the assistant. He can take out the trash. I can do general cleaning because that means I'm not making your bed. I'm not doing all of that. But I will clean the kitchen. I will clean the living room, the laundry room, the stairs. You get what I'm saying? The hallways. You get what I'm saying? And then I will cook. And then mom, she just pays her rent and just brings a good mood. And what she's adding is that she brings an equilibrium that keeps the house peaceful. Like just be a good energy that makes, even though I'm on the softer side, like add the feminine into the masculine, like to make it more like a mother's love, like fill the house with love. You have a child, you know what I'm saying? Like have that vibe and pay your rent. And as well as your son, but really I'm looking at it like he has the lesser rent, she has the more rent. He got the discounted since she's the one brokering the deal. She's taking the bigger hit. He's the smaller rent. So, like to me, everyone can add. I think if we play those roles, everybody pay their rent, so I can pay these bills. Everybody's safe. Everybody good. I'm like, I don't mind. I'm telling you, I don't mind. See, that's what I'm saying. People try to make like, oh, I'm too good. I'm not too good. I don't mind doing these services. You get what I'm saying? Where it makes sense to do these services. Yeah, I met my friend. Everything goes smoothly for sure. After meeting them and feeling them out. Oh, yeah, she just be chilling. And let me see something. Hold on. Most of the fleas, I think, are dead because scabs, they don't seem like they have almost 100% went away, and it feels like the fur is coming back. But just then I saw like what looked like a dying flea because it was just sitting on her leg. But then when I tried to get it, it started moving. You said this time is going to be different. Inshallah, truly. I really pray. Because again, I am willing to make reasonable changes. Like, and if we work as a team, we can all, like, y'all will be in a safe space. My home will be getting repaired. Like, and then, like, it will be like a little ecosystem. I can cook. I can do some, like, I'll do most of the cleaning. I thought it was the ice maker. Like, what the fuck was that? You know, like, we can make this work. It really can work. But, what keeps me on pins and needles is like, okay, Allah, we're in like the final hour here. A few days left in this month. And now this is the last option on the table. Other than this, it would just be I would just kind of be like forced into having to sell, more or less. Not because it's more like if I fall too far behind and these bitches try to steal my house, then I get nothing. I have no house, I have no money, I have nothing. So I'm just like, God, please let them come in. Let them see my spirit. Let them see my soul. Let's work together. Let's work together on this. And then, and like I say, I can see the value on both ends. They would have a safe space. I would have someone who can repair my house. Like I say, I don't even mind helping. It's just I would let the person who knows way more about it be the lead on that. Like, all right, a wrench, okay, whatever. Like, oh, hold this while I do this, okay. Like that to me is like, so they're on a level. Dream tenants, like I don't know their personalities yet because God only knows. I don't know, but she said, "Oh, we're really." I'm paraphrasing, but like, "Oh, we're cool and we're open minded." Like I said, the big mother and son was appealing because I'm like, they know each other. So it would be like awkward. Like if I had a tenant already and then a new one's coming, like, oh, who is this new bitch coming in here? It'll be more like, this is my mom. Like, of course, they're coming in already comfortable with each other. And I just, like I said, I think that energy will play well with just making the overall energy be okay because, you know, it would just be overflow. I don't know if I'm making sense with that. Like hearing them say, I love you, mom, or good night, or just them being that way, it would just open that up to be just more warm. Am I making sense? Or at least that's what I imagine. I don't know if that's true. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, thank you, mi amor. Yeah, oof, I feel that. I remember working 12 and 16-hour days as security for MOG, military aircraft. That shit was crazy. Feeling like we're not enough energy for the whole next shift. Okay. Yeah, she did. She definitely did that, please. Hey, Iman. How are you, beauty? I'm trying to find a scenario where it's like synergy. Like, I needed 2 tenants anyway. Boom. They had it can't get any closer. It's mother and son. Boom. So now I got my 2 rents. Boom. We can help each other. He has to go out and work. He can't be here 24/7 how I could. Now, I say I may have to go and get a full-time job. But maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just be like, you know what, let me really focus on, like, I'll see, but like, it will give me time to really focus on like rebuilding all what I'm trying to do. Like, whatever it is, it will give me options. Do I want to, I can do multiple things. Not multiple, but well, it'll be multiple, but like not like 6 different things, but like maybe 2. The stand-up comedy thing, and then working on this record and trying to get the record finished. And um and like building up my platform, building things back up. But I'll be able to do it in a more methodical and peaceful, calm way. I mean, I'm calm now, but I just mean like without the anxiety of like you needing everything to work, which oftentimes everything doesn't work. But I'm praying here that it does. And like I say, if me lending my natural hospitality, especially in a situation where it's like, okay, so my hospitality is even more of a benefit because I'm willing to extend and help your mom. And like I say, cook for the household. So adding these things to the conversation add value for them and for the son, like to help them make a decision. I would just look at them strictly for the stable income, not expectation. That way there's no disappointment. Like maybe versus and well, but if not on that note. Oh no, that's definitely number one. Let's be clear. But in all honesty, I'm not, it's not even, I am going to have an expectation. And if I'm disappointed, then I'm just disappointed. Because this is a unique scenario and I'm hoping for the best. I'm not going to not hope for the best. I'm hoping that, because guess what? The other tenants, those checks cleared and they destroyed my home. The other tenants, the checks cleared and their energy was off. It made me feel uneasy in my own home. So getting along with these people and having the camaraderie actually does, like having that energy be pleasant. What I've learned, especially since this is not an investment property, I live here too, is that the right energy like that goes a long way. Like, you know how they say, oh my God, the in-laws, having good in-laws, to me, getting along, like you don't need them. You can do, yeah, we can be in a relationship and your mom can totally hate me and be a bitch or whatever the case would be to that situation. But wouldn't it just be better if that wasn't the case? Like, I mean, if I'm disappointed, I'm disappointed. I mean, that's a part of life. I'm not gonna, but it would be nice for this to be something where, because my vision is that everybody is helped. And the way of doing that means it's not just about the check clearing on first. That is important. That has to happen. But it's not my only concern or consideration. You get what I'm saying? Like, I want to get along with these people. It's like almost like wanting to get along with your neighbors. Like, even if y'all not gonna be close, just not having issues where y'all calling city on each other, calling the police on each other, and just like really having issues. Only this is more intimate because you get what I'm saying? So yeah, I would like more. Like for it to be smooth, for it to be like make sense, for it to be something that works out for everybody. Now, do we need to be the closest of friends? Sure, we don't have to be. But if that happens, that would be a plus in that they're in my home. If we're closer, then I will feel, let's say if I have to go out of town, I will, it'll feel more like I'm leaving it to people that I trust. Instead of like when I went on this cruise this last time and this girl, I'm like, thankfully she really did, even though she left her trash and a few little things. But as far as like destroying my house, she didn't do that. Her area was clean. She was out on time. So even though she was serving the girls children of the corn, she still was at her bus stop at the appointed time. I was just, let me see, he said, yeah, you can see why you might have an eye open, so to speak, but because of how it's unfortunately been. Right. Like, let's be clear. Here's what I would say. I'm cautiously optimistic. I've done this enough times to know how the many ways it can go. But I'm looking at this scenario and I'm seeing how it could go and how it can help everybody. And so I'm choosing to focus on that aspect of it. You get what I'm saying? Who praying to talk about? Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, feel like I've heard that somewhere, but regardless, that's how I'm feeling. Like, I feel good about it. There's still that part of me that has trauma from the past situations, but I have to move forward just because I have to. I literally have to. And having been through a lot of these experiences, it's the reason why I'm praying that this one is different in all areas, like, except for having the rent on time. Because I would say I've really never had a problem collecting rent. That's never really been my issue. It's more the people. So it's a money thing, but it's I want to like these people thing. I want us to get along thing. Where it's like, if it's like, oh, can you run me to the gas station? Oh, for sure. And it's not no big deal because there's a care there. And like I say, especially, like I said, I'm not a nurse. That lady did tell me I need to call that senior citizen home again. She said they will hire you. She was like, because I remember you and I still have a video of you on my phone from there. She was like, yeah, you were dancing with, was it her dad? She was like, they love you there. She was like, if you call them, you'll get a job. So actually, I think I will call them. I'm going, or email or do something and say, hey, just share my story and just say, listen, I'll do whatever without me having to have like a degree or certification. Like before, like even if it's just coming in there to spend time with them and like entertaining them how I did before. Because that's what she was saying. She was like, they were dancing with you and they were coming to life. I'm like, even if it's keeping them active and just being that person who just is like a fairy that just spins around throughout, just doing my rounds, checking on everybody, making sure everybody's seeing where everybody is. You hungry? You want a snack? Da, da, da. I mean, I think I can be great at that. And as I said, I've always been great with senior citizens, and I love senior citizens. Even as a kid, I could do that. Hope that it's actually good, so you won't have to keep being right. Inshallah, me too. I'm praying that. Me too. Same. Only time will tell, but something tells me this time will be ways more. I pray that. What I think. I don't know how I would react to like really feeling like I'm safe. Because even when I, for very briefly, had the two tenants, the one that just left and the one who flooded my house and all that other stuff, and then when I was working that job all at the same time, because right when all that happened and all three were happening at the same time, that tenant left first because he was supposed to been left, but he kept, oh, my condo's not ready. And then it was just down to the one tenant and the job, which my money was still good, but I was like, for that very brief period when I got to see what it would look like when all that aligned, rent money coming in, getting those two checks, those biweekly checks at that job, I was like, oh my God. The way I was looking at it is this. though I was calculating it. So when I work this job, it's like I'm bringing in 2 more rents. So it's like I have 4 tenants. So just because it's like that's what it's equaling up to. And I was like, wow. So with 2 tenants in this job, I could really, but that was short lived. But with this, I would have the 2 tenants back. And then if I wanted to get a full time job, like just so I can, just for a very brief period, because I wouldn't want to work. Honestly, I think I can do it without doing a full time job. I really think I can do it just with my talents online, but I would just need to be more consistent. And then not only that, but not even really consistent, just be more strategic. There's things that I can do, but the point is really focus on that, growing that, and then letting them give me the talent. And then, like I say, and then honoring what I'm bringing to the table, which is cooking for the house. And here's the thing: when I cook for the house, I can make that into my cooking show. And I might could even say, you get what I'm saying? Like, okay, this is what I made this time, and I'm just making this up. This may not even happen. Where someone besides me samples it. But my point is, I can get content even out of that. Even if I don't show them sampling the food, even just me making the food can still be content. So it would just give me peace of mind. It would give me space. And what a feeling that would be to really just be like, okay, let me just sit here and breathe for 2 weeks. Because that's the other thing. Actually, no, I wouldn't even get the job in the beginning just so we would close the gap on the mortgage. But I've also been like back and forth, like, let me make a deal this, pay this, this is falling behind, let me pay the past due on this, past due on that. Like, I want to close the gap on those utilities. That is easier to catch up with than this. But once we catch up on the most important thing, then after that, all of this is important. But it's like, once that is like not so like on my heels, then we can tackle these utilities. Now, once I'm caught up on utilities and we're caught up on the mortgage and say, okay, let me put some money to the side just so that I know that money is there. You know what I'm saying? Like, then I'll be like feeling more comfortable to say, I'm 4 months ahead. I'm still in, I have like separate from me getting the rent from them, I didn't saved up 4 months worth of rent on my own. So I can be using this money like I have a plan in my mind if Allah allows me to execute it. I can create good plans. It's just opportunity and being able to execute it. You know what I'm saying? But I know I have a good vision. So this vision is contingent on getting these tenants and they're great, and we all get ahead. Exactly. A lot of the shops in the mall are good because it's usually like one person per shift, so you can have the store. That is kind of true, isn't it? I might have to consider that. Maybe I'll go to the mall. A lot of times, I've had this happen to me a number of times in my life, but like the Indian dudes, when I go into their shops, they be trying to flirt. So maybe I can get a job there. No, well, if they're cute, because if they're cute, I don't mind. If I like them, it's when it's unwelcomed, unrequited. Because I'm like, wait a minute. Because as soon as I said flirt, at first I was thinking about it in more of like a way that I would be interested in, and then I flashed. See what I'm saying? That's why I got to get away from this other job, because then I flashed to being like harassed by this dude and just all this other stuff, which was actually very negative in that case. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm like, bitch, I'm in a bathroom. You're homeless. You're dirty, and you're cussing at me and acting crazy, and like you're like jacking off. You're being too much. That's not what I wanted. Somebody else might say, well, girl, that's what he wanted. No, it's not what I wanted. But now, if I could come up in here and get a quick job and get amazing hours from a cute Indian who is like, oh, just go whatever. No, I'm not going to take advantage. But, have someone who's going to work with me and be reasonable. Like, now, if I like you, who knows how that could go? Shit, we might turn around and get married, and then now I'm part owner, so I really have a reason for this shit to pop off. You know what I'm saying? But that was a joke. Like I'm not saying this. That whole segment is a joke, honestly. But because I don't think I'll do a mal job. I mean, it's something to consider, but I don't think I'll do that. Maybe, but I just don't think I'll do it. And he said, yes, we have to expect any story to get right. Like that's where my head and heart is right now. Like I'm like, I want this to go well. That's what I'm speaking to. However it turns out is how it turns out. But so far as what I'm putting into the universe is this is going to be a man that loves his mom, and it's going to be a person who's respectful, and he's going to care about his mom, and because of that is what's going to make him care about other people, and I can help with his mom so he can take some stress off in that regard. I can cook for her, him, myself. I can keep the areas, you know what I'm saying? Like these are things I wouldn't mind doing. Especially if he is going to be doing repairs to my home and they collectively are going to be closing the gap and being instrumental in me getting ahead. I have absolutely no problem working with people and like seeing where it's like, okay, we got to have some money on the table, but then there's other things that we can negotiate with and barter with. I dropped the price, $50, you dropped it, whatever you dropped it to, honestly. I don't know exactly what she dropped. I know it was $56 short or under what the number I calculated, but what I mean is she clearly had another number in mind that she thought, like once you add those rents together, maybe, but I would have to add what the rent originally was on that site to see what it would have been. But whatever the case, I mean, do you don't think it's suspicious that I came up with that calculation and then 5 minutes later the lady emails me and is asking me, does this work for you? And she was only $56 apart. Like I took that as God wanted. The way it came in my mind is, I'm just too tired to explain it, but I know in my heart of hearts, it feels like this is going to be something different. Because I came up with the price and she was only $56 off. And then something that she threw in there with her son is something that I actually have been wanting, which is it would be nice to have a tenant in here that was like a construction worker or something who can do work on the house. And even though he's not a construction worker, he's a plumber. He can do something to the house to make it better, starting with that kitchen sink. And I would be so appreciative for the repairs on the house that are like, it will be something where it's like, it's my pleasure to cook for the house. It's my pleasure to help your mom, especially if I'm coming up too. It's like we're all coming up. Like finally, it's not like I'm just overextending myself, but I'm not getting anything. No, I'm having my bills paid. Plus I'm getting repairs done to my house. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying I can cook. I can do that and make great food and even some desserts. And I think that they'll appreciate that. I think they will. They seem like good people. Or the mother, at least. She seems like a good person. She's the one doing all the negotiating and conversation. To me, you know what I'm saying? But of course, this whole thing is nerve-wracking, but you do your best to stay level-headed. And what I didn't tell y'all is that the guy who came here from the investment company to buy my house, in the end, he ended up telling me how and here's nothing, I forget how I came up, but it was like, oh, what do you do? And it was like outside of this, it was like, I throw parties or we do parties. I'm like, parties. He was like, I'm like a promoter, but our market is the Latino market. And I was like, oh my God, maybe this is the reason why I reached out to you. Even though you came out here for my house, maybe it was me who really the connection was for. And he told me, he was like, I wasn't even supposed to be here today. Another person was supposed to come, but his wife went into labor and they sent me out. And I was like, so then I was like, you need to bring me in. I need an opportunity. And he was like, I gotta run it past my partners. I'm not the only person involved, but come to one of our events and see what it's about. And I was like, not only am I gonna come, baby, I'm gonna come and burn it down. Tell you what I can do because I can show you better than I can tell you. I said I'm gonna come to your event. I want you to pay attention. Lock in on what I'm doing to the atmosphere because this is important. This is important. Okay. And I want you to see the effect of the crowd because that is where the money is. I said they would never see a bitch like me coming, especially like you can surprise these girls, hit them with the element of surprise. They would never expect a bitch like me. And so he was like, and he was so sweet. He gave me all the dates, like we're here on this day, we're here. And he was like, it felt like a lot of details, but I was like, damn, okay, y'all got a lot of dates popping, like on this day, on this day. I thought, okay, well, what's the one that is like the one you would say I definitely can't miss, Because I was like, you're gonna be at all these? Like, I'm gonna be at all of these events. And he was like, and don't worry, like when you come, just text me and I got you. Like, I got you at the door. So I was like, okay. So you see what I'm saying? Like, even with having them, the mother and son tenants, that would give me time to really work and build that relationship with this guy who came to buy my house, but then ended up like potentially giving me a crazy life-changing opportunity. So it was like he had two opportunities, but maybe because I said no to the first one, the real prize was on the other end. Yeah, he could do this for you, but he could do this for you too. He can cut you this check today, or you can save that check and then work with him later on and make real money with him. So you know what I'm saying? So that's where we are, you guys. Like things are going, things are going, they're actually going like it's tiring, but this is what being the leader means, I guess, you guys. Not even I guess, I'm sure of it. It all ultimately it's for me to figure this out. You know what I'm saying? And you come to your community to pull because like I say, they haven't signed their lease yet. They're coming on the I think the 30th. So even though I know they really need to move quickly, I mean, my main concern is the disability and how we can accommodate her with respect to that. But the area where we are, for the price, especially all inclusive for 2 adults, yeah. And then especially when I kick in the deal of baby, we can cook, we can clean as a benefit. That's because and I need to be drinking the water out of that fountain. That's the reason why I'm hearing it like that right now. Aggravating. I need to walk to the gas station. What time is it? Okay, I'm gonna take a hit with y'all because I don't have no more raps. Hold on, you guys. Ooh, child. I had to put some water in there because it was just gonna keep like screeching like that. But so there's a lot on the line. This is feeling so much like a film, like a movie, but it's not. It's real life. So just pray for me, you guys. Right now, things are very like I said. I really need things to go as right as they can go. You know what I'm saying? Because it's very important that we get these tenants in here first, and then that I get caught up on everything. Because I really don't like being behind. I really don't. It makes me feel very uncomfortable because then it's like, who do you owe? Who do you owe? And you're trying to keep track of all these things. Getting caught up is key. So closing the gap and then getting caught up. So just pray for me because I need this to work. I really need this to work. But like I said, so that's my plan. You know what I'm saying? And then honestly, I don't want to get too far ahead beyond the point of that because as inshallah, once we get to that point, I'll see how I'm feeling. Like, okay. How am I feeling? Do I want to like how am I feeling? Then I'll be able to piece the next move. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a quick hit. This hurricane, has anybody been affected? Party promoting seems really fit with you in general. Yeah, I'm not against that. I'm not against that. Totally not against it. Oh, yeah. While I empty this bowl, let's play this newest cut, Love on Me. It's just something I threw together. I was gonna throw in a bunch of harmonies and a bunch of things, and then I said, I'm just gonna run it out and just keep it raw and just keep it like super stripped down and simple. Maybe I have another song that I'm working on, and maybe I'll do that for that. But for this, something just made me say, fuck it, just put it as raw as you can and just let it, like, don't overproduce it, just make it super raw. So yeah, that's Love on Me.
That's a little too much talking, DJ. That'll do. I just need this music to touch me and move me in ways like it never has before. Put me on a cut that's gonna get me off my feet, make me feel this beat.
30 hertz straight up.
Just got in, ain't been here long. Hold on, DJ Lit playing my song. Now we gotta figure out the drink limit, cause they be strong. Tequila sunrise can't go wrong. Oh no, now the beat kicking in. Burn it down, that's a classic. I'm a snack coming through more like a sandwich. Top it off with the classic. And it's massive, I'm not passive. And I'm coming through with some acid. Watch the beat glide over me. Gotta get me off my feet. I need you to look on me. This beat goes hard, hard. Love me, love me, love. Love me, love me, love. I come this far to play. Just get them beat right, I got no complaints. Shifting the mood, don't slow it down too soon with them tunes. Cause I let down my hair and I put down my cup. Even my haters know just what's up. I put my hand on my head and I won't stop unless you quit fucking with this sickening ass playlist. That's my jam. Yeah, love me, love me. Love me, love me.
Okay. Hold on a second. Hold on. Is it this? No. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to figure something out real quick. Let me see. What is this? Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one. Okay, we know what that is. Huh. Is it this? Okay, that's fine. Something is really weird. Okay. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I'm like, the fuck? Okay, there we go. I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, because I was trying to figure the fuck out. What's up? Yes. But hold on, let me show you. I was like, do I want to? Hold on.
That's a little too much talking.
me see. Hold on. All right. Let's take it from the top and see what we give.
Finish talking, DJ. I'm good. I just need this music to touch me and move me away like it never has before. Put me on a cut that's gonna get me off my feet, make me feel this beat. Just got in, ain't been here long. Hold on, have a DJ hit to play in my song now. We gotta figure out the drink limit, cause baby's strong. Tequila sunrise can't go wrong. Oh no, never be kicking in, burn it down as a classic. I'm a snack coming through more like a sandwich. Top it off with a classic. And it's massive, I'm a passive, and I'm coming through with some acid. Watch the beat right over me. Gotta get me off my feet. I need you to on me. I ain't come this far to play. Just get them beat right, I got no complaint. Shifting the mood, don't slow it down, don't fun with them tones. Cause I let my head and I put down my cup. Even my haters know just what's up. I put my hand on my head and I won't stop unless you quit fucking with this sick me ass playlist. That's my yeah, love on me, love on me, love on me.
I was listening to the vocal the other night whenever I released it. And I thought, sometimes I feel like people can't really actually hear. Like when I am like going to like make sure, like, let me hear it. Because when I mute the music, then I can really hear what I'm trying to do. And if I can still hear it without the music, then that means, okay, it's ready. Okay. Hola. Yeah, you said thinking of you. Okay. I'm not mad at it. This one, no song. I was like, okay. And that's crazy. I was just, like I said, it was just, couldn't sleep. I was up thinking, trying to figure out, again, solutions. And, in this situation, everyone else can sleep, but you're up thinking, What's the plan? How are we going to do this? And that's what I was going to say before when I was going off on that first tangent. Sweetheart, the thing you're not understanding is when I'm sitting here, hey, trying to raise money and sow a seed and all this other stuff. Sweetheart, do you understand? What that's showing you is I'm not out here doing shit I'm not supposed to be doing. Now, if you saw next week that I got busted for selling drugs, then it'll be like, oh, see, look at that. Then you get what I'm saying? But when you see me out here doing this and creating and being an artist, what you can see is I'm out of trouble. I'm creating. I'm doing a good thing. No one can say that that's not true. That is very true. You can go however you want to feel, but what you can absolutely see and understand is if he's out here, that means he's not somewhere else doing something he's not supposed to. How I'm thinking of solutions, throwing house parties, all these things are legitimate things. Tenants, this, that, and the fourth. How can we help each other? These are legitimate things. What you don't hear me saying is, oh, maybe I can sell some weed. I need to look at how to cook up coke, and maybe I can make some meth. Maybe I can sell my ass. Maybe I can go rob someone. You're not hearing me say nothing that's, you get what I'm saying? You're hearing solutions that make sense. So again, back to that point, that should be something that is applauded, really. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, just keep that in mind. Well, if he's out here, that means he's not doing stupid shit. Because if he was, then we know, okay, if he's not in jail, then that means he'd have the money. Because, okay, you stole the car, you flipped it, or however that would go. Okay, you started, like, whatever it would be, you would know because, oh, he don't need no money. He not asking for no money. Even though we know he not working that job. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, these are the kinds of things that my mind thinks. Well, if the person was, you get what I'm saying? And it's clear that, oh, okay, do I buy my weed? Yes. But I think considering all the things that I have to endure, that's the least. Oh, he's stressed out and he smokes. That you gotta come better than that. Because when these bitches be talking about drugs, they're talking about like serious drugs, like cocaine, heroin, like real drugs, bitch. Like this, girl, we're not gonna do that. We're just not. But you get what I'm saying. I'm like, you can see, I've maintained this, even if just barely, it's been maintained. My mother passed 2019. I moved in November 3rd, 2019. From then to now. So if I was drugged out and was all of these things, I wouldn't have been able to maintain. If I was doing things I wasn't supposed to, then I wouldn't need to be here because I would have a hustle. Like I would have like, oh, I got TVs. Let's just say when I was working this job, if I was like doing stupid shit, because people are telling me like, oh, you know, one of the reasons why they be looking at our department is because people be stealing. Like they'll do things and then they'll make it like it was an item for the customer, but really was for them, and then they'll steal it, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's so many things. But when they was telling me all the different ways people were getting away with theft, it never even crossed my mind, oh, I can steal something. In fact, I remember there was one time I was walking and I saw one of those, I don't know how much it costs, but it's one of their nicer kind of necklaces. And it was really cute. It was like something with a butterfly, and I could just tell it wasn't supposed to be over by the section where I was, the little baby area. And then when I saw one of the ladies, I picked it up first because I felt this just sitting here, someone's gonna snatch this. So I picked it up and I gave it to the lady who I know worked in that area. And when I gave it to her, she was like, oh my, like, almost like she was surprised that I picked it up. I'm like, yeah, this was sitting here. But that's the thing. My mom used to always say, even if you think you got away, whatever you take from the universe will be taken from you, something to that effect. And I believe that. So even if I could have took it, I wouldn't have, because it's not mine and I didn't pay for it. So you understand what I'm saying? So I'm just like, when I'm out here, a person like me, it don't matter if you contributed 100 times. When it's to someone who is honorable, who is doing an honorable thing, that should be a joy. It shouldn't be something you're calculating. Well, I did it this many times, and what's he doing with the money? You're doing it with the wrong spirit. Who knows how long this is going to take? When I decided to go down this path, it was no guarantee it was going to happen in a week, a month, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. It's an investment. If you believe in what I'm doing, then you believe in what I'm doing, however long it takes. And when I have needs, as I will and do, that's not for you to then cast down judgment on something that is just a natural occurrence that would occur to anyone who is living in the civilized world. Bills are something that anyone can understand and comprehend. So why then now are you going to sit there and look at someone like me who you can understand, well, he's an artist. Well, we know that artists oftentimes, until they have their big break, are what we call struggling artists. So why are you expecting me to like somehow be living this life that is not that path when you can understand that's the path that I'm on? It's just crazy. And then in addition, like I said, people will know with my ADHD, and I'm like, how I'm here now still with that condition is a miracle. Because most people don't understand it. Most people, oh, I'm ADHD. I'm like, if you were, you wouldn't be thinking it was funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way how they say it. I make jokes on it in a different way. These bitches be saying it like, oh, just because they lost their focus. Like, oh, I'm ADHD. I just make light of it because to get something out of it, at least. And I do get a lot out of it when it comes to the creativity. But the other half of it is the issue, the part where it's the struggle. But my point is, I'm dealing with a lot. Okay, everybody's okay. That's fine. I'm speaking on me. I'm dealing with a lot, and I'm doing it in a way where most bitches wouldn't dare. But it's for a reason. You wanna know why? Because what the issue I see for a lot of people is we are in this world that really, on one hand, they tell you stand up for yourself, do this, do that, but that's not true. We can make it true, but as it stands here today, that's not true. It's not true that you being your authentic self and you being like working hard and being great. Because I'm telling you something now, my experience is when you are so good and you're like great and it's so obvious that you're that girl, bitches, you don't think that's the case. But most people, the ones who say, oh no, that's not the case, you'll know what these are, basic Bettys that never had a chance. Bitch, you're not even in the conversation. You don't understand what that feels like. Because you're just a bitch that just glides through life. And so now that's why you're being judgmental, because bitch, you never had that feeling of bitches seeing you as a competition. So now they're not going to give you the opportunity to come through the door. That never happened to you. Or if it did, how you can't understand what I'm saying, bitch, is beyond me. So it shows me you're just selfish. Selfish and self-centered. If you've been through what I'm explaining, but you're going to act like you don't know. Because what we're not going to say is the fact that everything about me is self-taught. You can say whatever you want to say, bitch, but for that I came this far on my own, bitch, that means a lot. And bitch, to anybody that will understand, does someone left you a 5-bedroom house, is going to understand that house was going to need upkeep. You can understand, oh, about a property, but it's maintenance, it's this, it's that, it's bills. Home ownership. Not like a cakewalk. And bitch, I was put in it overnight. My mom passed one time, and then on another time, I was in this house very shortly after. So really, whether or not the girls want to give it to me or not, I'm going to give it up for the boys. And I'm going to make some noise and pat my own self on the motherfucking back. Because good Lord, these people want to act like they can't understand that Mother Queen has always been supreme, has always been sublime, has always been the best. It has always come through for the children of the world through many colors, through many eras and iterations. And that these bitches think that they can really shut a bitch like me out of the conversation is really beyond me. It just seems so like, why would you want to? Hey, beauty. The legends are here. Did that put, I love to put, okay. Did that guy you recorded with ever cash after you back? He sure didn't, because he's a fucking convict and a thief. Why would he? So when he started netting up about coming to the studio, I said, oh, so he's back to his jailbird ways. Because he sounding like a jailbird now. Oh, don't talk to me like a child. Girl, please. I'm talking to you like a grown-ass man who's standing on business. And while I'm standing on business, you standing inside of a crib, bitch. I don't got time to coddle you, waddle you, and swallow you, bitch. That's for your fiance to do if that's going to be done. Because that's her job. Sit here. I don't care about your relationship issues, your cell phone issues, no issues, bitch. You said this was your dream. Now, myself being a bitch that has a dream and fights for her dream and actually will show up for myself when a bitch tell me she's there for herself, for her dream to represent, bitch, I'm going to take you on your word. And when you don't come through for the girls and boys of the world, bitch, I'm going to understand for the universe. What you was talking was just ash for space. It was just ash for space, bitch. You was not actually trying to bring nothing into orbit, bitch, and actually make it real. You were just talking out the side of your neck and out the hole of your ass, bitch. That's all you're doing. You wasted my time to record all them 6 songs that were cute. Just so you could be thinking that, what? I'm about to put in all this work and just turn over these songs for motherfucking free, bitch? You pitched me an idea, bitch. Now you think I'm about to, because what it was is like, oh, what's up, boss lady? I'm like, see, you thinking that's buttering me up, but it's not. I'm ready to work. But okay, whatever. Okay, because I know how you little hood niggas do. That shit don't work on me. You cannot gay bait me, girl. I had one nigga who one time, I don't know if I told y'all this story. This is a totally different story, a whole other person. This was a few years back, living in this house, so my mom had already passed. Got the story about this one guy. He used to live off the street. Like, let's just say, like y'all know my house. If you go out to the right, go up that hill, he's at the top of the hill. Now, remember, I used to go out there singing. First, it started with no microphone, but I'm loud, so bitches can hear me through the neighborhood. So he came and was like, well, it started when I would see him walking wherever to the gas station to get his drink, his beer, whatever, and then I'll see him walking back. Now, finally, after all these times him walking back and forth, every time he would walk, he would look at me. But not in a mean way, just in like a way to try to understand, I guess, who I was and what I was doing, like what it was about. On this one particular time, he wanted to talk to me. He was like, "Can I talk to you?" However he said it, and we started talking. He was like, "You be singing down here, don't you?" I was like, "Uh-huh." He was like, "We need to do a song," and he was all excited about doing the song. Another hood rapper, another bitch, not about her business. So she's like, "Oh, I want you to do this. I want you to, because your voice with my voice, this is da." I'm like, "Okay, I mean, well, shit. Let me come to a session," because he was like, "Oh, matter of fact, we're having a recording session tomorrow." I said, "Is that so?" He said, "Yeah, we're having a recording session tomorrow." I said, "Okay." Let me sit in on the session and see how y'all work, what y'all working on, and just sit in, and blah, blah. Now, on the day of, and it would have been easy because his house is right up the street, I can walk to it. I'm thinking maybe this is because you hear all these stories about how, this person I met in my neighborhood, Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson. I'm like, girl, please. Because these niggas just be wasting my time. Where's the Smokey Robinsons at? Where's the Diana Rosses? Where's the Tina Turners? Where's the Arethas? Because I'm not getting any of that old school grind. I'm not getting that Motown flair. I'm not getting that Michael Jackson moonwalk space expedition. I'm not getting. And so anyway, on the day of the session, he gives me a call. Maybe it was a text. I forget, but whatever it was something to the effect of, "Oh, today's session is canceled," for however he said it. And it's been a few years now, but here's the point. Between that first reason he gave me, he changed the reason like 3 different times. So by that third reason, I'm like, girl, you on one. Because what is it? You being weird. You could have left it at the session was canceled, but now, it really wasn't canceled, but my other producer friends, they wanted it to be a closed session and they didn't want no new people coming. Then it turned to some other weird shit. And then, anyway, it ended up on, hold on. Girl, your claws, baby. It ended up on, well, the real reasons. I'm like, the real reason. So the third reason was, oh, what it was is my uncle, maybe he has Alzheimer's and he was forgetting where he was. He was acting out. And my mom was embarrassed. She didn't want to have company that day. And at that point, I was just like, okay. Because you done went through 3 different transitions. If that's what it was, you could have just told me that the first time, but you started with the session was canceled because of whatever the reason. Then you started with it wasn't canceled, but it was a closed session. Then you started with my uncle's acting crazy. He lost his mind. He lost his mind, put his shoe in the freezer. Like, it was just a lot. And I'm like, okay, by that third one, I was like, girl, bye. Okay, cool. So then on another time, I'm trying to think if this happened on the day because I'm trying not to jump ahead. I forget. But on another time, he came to my house. And I'm wondering, is this when he got into that fight? Because, well, let me tell you what happened. Okay, so here it is. I'm working on music. This is the day I'm working on music. And actually, no, I was working on music, but I had stopped to make myself like a brunch. It was breakfast food, but like in the afternoon. I just finished my plate. Eggs fluffy with cheese and salsa. Must have had 2 waffles. Maybe I had 3 pieces of bacon, some breakfast sausage, some orange, and I may have just finished pouring my orange juice. I had just got my plate, my waffles cut up, everything was ready to eat. My show was ready for me to take my break from making music. Next thing I know, my door is knocking. I come to the door, it's this man. Now, this man might have been younger than me. I don't know what age, because with all that beer he was drinking, I think that just kind of made him look older. He had a beer belly, which I'm okay with that, but I'm just saying it's hard to predict his age. So I'm like, is everything okay? Like, what's going on? Because he's saying like, oh, can I come in? I'm like, what's going on? And something tells me before that happened, that's the fight. I'm jumping ahead. Why do I feel like before that part? Let me think. Did that all happen on that one day? What? It somehow feels like there may have been 2. It won't change the outcome of the story, but I just, I like to give details to make it accurate as I can. I can't recall if this happened. If there's one little piece that I'm about to say later in this part, if I'm correct that it happened when he came after the fight. But okay, let me just get to it. So when he comes, I'm like, what's going on? And nope, I am right. Okay, I knew it. I'm like, something feels wrong about that. So what it was is, this was before the fight. I knew that I felt like something was, that felt wrong. What happened was, he came to my house, no call, just popped up. I just finished the breakfast. And when he came, I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, oh, I wanted to talk about music or whatever. I'm like, that's not have to wait, sweetheart, because I'm working on music right now. And I'm actually on a break and my food is getting cold. So I love you now, but that's not have to wait. Because when I actually had time, you get what I'm saying? And I'm explaining to him, like, when I had time, you went through whatever, okay, your uncle has Alzheimer's. I'm cool about that, but it just was, to me, a little weird. Okay, well, actually, let me tell you the real reason. The real reason? What was the other 3? So you see, it's giving me, okay, it's triggering me. So he goes, the real reason is we had this session, but the real reason you couldn't come is because my mom, she loves your singing, but it's because you're gay. Girl, please. I was like, that's fine. That's her loss. She just prevented her son from working with an amazing artist that could have probably taken this chitlin circuit. Like, I'm missing pieces too, but bitch, I'm the size. Like, any bitch that take a chance on me is taking a chance on the winning ticket, especially if they're gonna stay for the long haul. These bitches be want shit to happen overnight. Oh, I'm working with you, and within 3 months. And then most of these bitches don't even want it. They want shit to happen, but then don't even want to really actually do no real work. They don't want to pick up no phone call and actually call people. They don't want to do the job. But they're expecting that because they maybe put some money into it or something into it. Do you understand? It's so many things. But the point is, this bitch would have had someone who would have been working with her son who's a creative, but girl, I don't have to explain my credentials or my passion or anything to this bitch because I never met her, don't care to. And now you're not even in the house anymore, so it's a moot point. The bottom line is, when I said that the other day, anyway, that's a whole other thing. We'll get to it. Maybe not, probably not. The point is it's a moot point. I don't give a fuck. She don't want to meet me, I don't want to meet her. I don't even know this lady. She knows about me, I don't know about her. Okay, so who gives a fuck? She don't want to see me. She don't want to see me. She don't want to let a child of God, someone who comes to do good things in this world. She don't even know me. This bitch must live here. Girl, fuck her. So I was like, that's fine. So that was another day. I had to shut my door on that. On this time, fast forward to the fight. I didn't know it was a fight though. So boom, he shows up. What's going on? Can I come in? What is going on? What did he tell me? That maybe he was attacked or something like that. I forget how he said it. And I was like, oh my. So now this is the compassionate Scorpio. I'm like, wait, what? You were attacked. And I'm thinking like, is someone after him? So at that point, then I'm thinking, okay, if it's something where your life is in danger and someone's like attacking you, or I didn't actually understand what was going on in the beginning. So I did let him in the beginning. And you know how this whole story came up? Because I want to explain about the gay baiting and how that shit don't fucking work on me, boo. And trust and motherfucking believe. If I wanted you, I would have had your ass a long time ago. When you first tried to, that you singing? Bitch, you know it's me singing. Bitch, if I wanted you then, I could have had you. But I don't want you. So don't think that you can play with my emotions just because you think that I'm gay. You can play with me, girl. I'm not the girl to be played with, sweetheart. Sweetie, that's what you do to those girls over there. That's not what's about to happen over here. So what happened was, boom. So he's explaining to me a story. And I was like, wait, hold on. Okay, hold on. Were you attacked or did you attack someone? I'm not understanding what happened. Well, I got into it with this guy who's living in our house. He's in a wheelchair. I found him at the mall. I'm like, wait a minute, what? This story is just, you found the man at the mall and now he's at your house? I don't understand. And he's in a wheelchair. I don't understand none of this. And everything was cool and whatever. But then something that maybe I needed to drive the car and he was telling me something about he needed to do something first. And I just got upset. And then I punched his car window and my hand had gone through the window. And he said he was calling the police. And so now I'm here. What? I said, girl, I'll give you time to calm down and catch your breath. But sweetheart, you're gonna have to get about my house eventually. But sweetheart, I don't do that. This is not a hood novel, erotica, where you thinking it's about to, because somebody somewhere would love that to be a written story where it's like, there was this one guy in the street that I always had a crush on, and one day, a few times, maybe we made eye contact, maybe we didn't, but I always felt maybe there was something there. But then this one day, he comes knocking on my door, and he's sweating, and he's hyperventilating, and I'm just, first of all, I can't believe he's just at my door. Like, this is somebody's fantasy happening. Girl, please. First of all, I'm not gonna go there. The point is, okay, well, I will say, but you pulling up to my house smelling like beer? That's not sexy. That's not bringing sexy back. You took it away. So okay, boom. What happened? Okay, so he's telling me the story, and I'm like, hold on. So now I'm asking my questions, like, wait a minute. So did you attack this man? Like, the impression I had, because his hands were bleeding. Like he had hit a wall or something. And I'm thinking, well, if he got attacked by multiple people, I could see maybe they were beating him up first, and then he beat them up. I don't know. Because I really didn't understand what was going on. So now I'm asking questions like, okay, did you get attacked or did you attack someone? That's when he's now going into, you know, all these details. Well, because I had found him at the mall and I really didn't know this man, but he just became a roommate. He moved in that same day. I'm like, okay. It's too good for me. I don't even need to know how the fight started no more, because how are you gonna tell me you found somebody in a wheelchair at the mall who was in a driver's seat? How did you even know this person? Did he tell you? How did you know him? What made you go to, okay, you're telling me you just randomly went to the mall, you didn't know this person, and then when you ran into him, which y'all started talking, you said move in? I'm just trying to, but it was irrelevant, because who cares how it got to that point? The point is now the man is there, and I bust out his window with your hand, and now you're at my house. He thought he called the police, or said he was gonna call the police. Then he, it's like I'm sensing, like, okay, you think I'm about to, what's the word? There's a word, I can't think of it, but you think I'm about to give you safe passage, bitch. And I'm like, girl, please. You wanna know something about me? I stay out of trouble, so I don't have to worry about these things. So that I don't have to be thinking, who can I go for? The police won't find me. Who the hell would think of this? I can't live like, who's gonna find me? Will the police catch me? Girl, please. So I'm like, listen, you can catch your breath and calm down, drink some water, breathe, but you are gonna have to get up out of my house. And I would even recommend turning yourself in if the police are gonna be looking for you. And his dad was telling him, you need to turn yourself in, son. You need to turn yourself in, son. Then when he got the phone with his dad, he called his mom. He talking about, don't turn yourself in. Run away. Where are you now? Keep hiding. Stay away from the police. I'm like, what on earth? Girl, are you serious? I'm thinking when the mom got on the phone, she was gonna have more. I'm thinking she gonna have more sense and reason than even the father. But she got on the hotline talking about, keep running. Where are you? Don't go in. Don't do nothing till I see you. Where are you? Run away from the police. Stay low. Get away from them. Stay away. Whose house are you at? I'm coming to find you. She's saying this because he had it on speaker for the mom and the dad. So the dad was the one saying, he was sounding like one of them old school dads, like, son, turn yourself in, son. We can work it all out if you just turn yourself in. But if you go and run and make it deeper, it's going to get worse. As a matter of motherfucking fact, the father even said in the beginning, don't listen to your mama. Before I heard the phone call, he said, don't listen to your mama. Now I'm thinking, oh, he one of those hating on the mama. But when he hung up from the father and picked up the phone call from her, I said, oh, that's why he said don't listen to her. Pay her no never mind. Because she literally got on the phone, was like, son, where are you? Stay down. Stay away. Run. Don't talk to no one. Don't talk to police. Don't turn yourself in. That's why he said to ignore this bitch. She was really on the phone saying that. And when he got the phone with her, I said, having heard from both of your parents, I got to tell you, your father makes sense. Your mom is about to get you in some more trouble. That's a curse. It's like she's doing it on purpose too, because he was grown. Maybe he was younger than me, but he was definitely grown. He might have been like, say 27. I'm gonna be generous because, like I said, with that beer and him being like, he clearly don't keep himself up like that. Like he's one of those. He probably aged himself a little bit, but bottom line, he is an adult, and for her to be there, I'm a witness because I heard her say it. Stay away from police. Stay away. Run away. Run away. Run away. Okay, run away when it's something where they really are trying to come and kill you, and it's like a police brutality. But this is not. This is he could turn himself in, and you don't got to worry about it. But then eventually, the police were looking for my sister. You got to go get about my house. No. We don't do jailbirds up in these parts. It's like you can have gotten out of jail. I'm not judging you on that. Like, oh, I came out of prison. But if you're not a person who I got out of prison, I want a better life, or even if you never have been in prison, but you enjoy your freedom, okay, so then don't, is it hard not to? I understand, because guess what? I'm struggling too. But am I saying, let me go and rob a convenience store? To be fair, I don't know what people's circumstances are. Maybe this person is like, my child has cancer and I can't pay for the treatment and I have to. Under that circumstance, I would give grace. I'm not saying it's the right thing, but I'm not going to say it's the wrong thing. If she had to have that money for that payment, and in this world where if she explained once they took her to jail, like, I had no choice. I went for the job. I went for that job. Had this job, got laid off because the company downsized. It was just one thing after the other. My mom died. She used to help me watch the kids. Then my dad died. Like it, so I ended up robbing the bank or whatever, and I didn't want to hurt nobody, and nobody did get hurt. But I was gonna walk out the bank with the money. Okay, she can go to jail, but we can make her sentence lighter because you can understand she's not a hardened criminal who's just out here doing things for the sake of it. It's like you can see she never had no real trouble, and she's explained to you the reason why she did it. It was it a crime? Yes. I personally would even say let's let her off the hook, give her a job, put her up for 150 hours worth of community service so she can give back because she still did do a crime, and then do a public apology to the place that she robbed or whatever the case is, and she can do better out here giving her a job and helping her with her kid and actually seeing what we could do to get her child with some treatments or some kind of insurance to help her out. She's an asset. We can, like, you got to be able to see stuff like that. That is different versus the bitch who was just like, I saw something where it was like, okay, the woman is walking, minding her business, and you just came up behind her and choked her out. Why? That was for nothing. That was mindless and stupid and violent. Prison. Because a person who can just jump out of the bush and do that to someone is someone who, okay, would you feel safe around that person? For the person which you saw in that clip to jump out them bushes and do that to that girl, nobody would feel comfortable with that person on the street. I think if you want to expedite past that, you could do a lobotomy. Then I won't worry so much. So I just, y'all, let me see how much money I got. I'm gonna let my homegirl know, like, yo, I don't want to work at that bank because she even hates that job. And plus, that job is back at my other job. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, like I said, I have to think ahead and just plan as best as I can for what's coming around the corner. It's coming around the corner. And still, my case with this job, which slowly I've been putting the footage together and, but it's just so exhausting. I'm like, oh, I gotta hear these voices again. And then I'm trying to figure out how best can I tell my story of what my experience was at this, using this footage and these audio recordings, and then just my own testimony. So I actually need to reach out to my homegirl. That's what I want to do. But listen, you guys, I'm gonna get ready to wrap up. I'm so glad you guys dig the new song. Like I said, it was something that I really wanted to be super stripped down, and and I think I achieved that. Like, just it's me, but just really like stripped down and just simple. And I'm okay with that. And I think I can save all that other stuff for another time. But I was happy with the song and I was happy to share it. And right now I'm just trying, like I say, I'm glad that God allowed me to have that. Excuse me, I'm sorry. That God gave me like the energy and the foresight to write that and perform it. But I do have serious things going on that I need to attend to, which would be cleaning my house. Well, it's already clean, to be honest. I'm like, just staying on top of that, because when these people come into the house, I want the house to be, as they say back in the day, spick and span. Was that the term, or was it something different? Wait, spick and span. Is that word? Am I tripping? But isn't that a bad word? So why is it in that saying then? Because I just realized with the word, when I said it with on its own, it would have stood out to me. But because of that saying, it just rolled off the tongue. But then I'm thinking, did that word mean something different in the beginning? Because how did that term come into be then? Like, to mean like clean. Because anytime I hear that term, I think that means clean, like very clean. Or did I say that wrong? Maybe I've just always said it wrong. I always thought it was said the way that I said it. But I want to make sure, like, is that, and not only that, but am I tripping? Is that like an epithet? There's so many, but I'm like, I don't know them all, but that sounds like it is. Just based off of what I can recall. I don't know them all, but that sounds like one. And then I'm thinking, how did that term come into popularity then? I know I didn't make that term up. And how did it become something? Especially if it's what I'm thinking now, because it just, once I heard it out loud, especially, maybe I'm just more aware, but I'm like, wait a minute. It's like my ear caught it. But anyway, he said, I believe towards people of Hispanic. Okay, so what is that term? The term where people use what I just said, like where I was like, I need to clean the house well, and then I said it's already clean, but just make sure that it's ... Where did that come from? Because in my mind, before I knew about the racial side of that first word, I knew about that term, what I said earlier. I knew about that before I heard of the word on its own. So when I found out later on, because that's why I was like, isn't that? I'm like, once I found out later on that was, I didn't connect that with that term because I had heard that term first. Does that make sense? Before I heard about, oh, this is a racial thing. I only ever knew that term, that word in that sentence, because I never heard it said on its own. So I'll say that. I never heard it said on its own. But that term that I just said, like, I want to make sure it's ... That only, from where I was from, that meant clean. Like, above average clean. Like, don't just clean it regular, make it extra clean. So, but now my curiosity is, how recent is that term? Did that term come before this, or how did it come to be? Because I know I've heard that term before. I'm sure that I've heard that term before, but I just don't know how it could come to be if it's a racial thing. That particular word, I'm like, but you know what happens though? Because even like with the swastika, I'm like, people sometimes, although in this case, I don't know how that became a thing towards Hispanics. I don't know how that derived. Like, at least with nigger, I know that started with negro. And of course, Americans being how we are, oh, Negro, like, we can see how that derived. I don't understand how that particular thing derived, but to where it's like, you get what I'm saying? But the point I'm making is, I'm curious how that term became a term if that racial term was already out. Like, what made, and how did that grow legs? But then again, I don't know. And honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to do the research, because I don't have to use that term. First of all, I know the term, but I very rarely use that term. I can't even think of a time where I've just heard it. And I've heard it used to mean like, oh, cleaning it better be ... like super clean. And that's really all I was trying to get across. But then I became curious about the history of the word and how can that be. But I left a comment while we're on the issue of the topic of racial stuff. I want to talk about this real quick before I go. There was this white guy, he was talking about, oh, dude, and I'm gonna keep it short and try to simplify this, but he was like, oh, showing like a clip of, oh, when you see, if he was, in all honesty, he was trying to bait people, because he was like taking it to the extreme, but it's regardless of that, it was the point. So what it was is he showed up, and when he showed up, he had multiple clips, him in Chinese, like Japanese garb, in Native American garb, maybe Latin garb, like some type of Mexican garb. Okay. And he was like, oh, does this offend you when I wear this? And then the Asian woman was like, absolutely not. And basically everybody was saying, absolutely not. But here's something that, for the point you're trying to get across, that's landing on deaf ears to anybody who can understand how intellectually dishonest you're being, is this. Nobody is confused when you see that kimono that it's Asian. No matter who wears it. If Nicole Kidman wears it, they're not going to say, oh, look at this, like she invented that. They're not going to accredit that to Diane von Furstenberg. They're not going to accredit it to Valentino or some other bitch or some other culture. When you see them clogs, them girls be wearing, them little Japanese clogs, bitch, you know where it came from. Bitch, when you see that Native American headdress, no one is confused about that. So even if they were okay with it, it's because it's not like y'all trying to take credit for or trying to like rebrand it as a European thing. But when you bitches come and take Black styles and then rename them and call them different things and then don't actually give the credit to the culture where you got it from, because you know that everybody on the outside not going to understand that actually this belongs to this culture. Like this is the culture that actually refined this look, this style, this sound. You know, when you're hearing, you get what I'm saying? A Spanish song, like you understand the culture that's coming from. Even if you don't know the specific, you just know it's Latin. But these bitches be trying to sit up here and even erase you out of your own sound. And will take songs, ideas, styles, and then do it to a lesser degree and then get credit for it. That's the issue. And when you say, oh, Black people didn't invent braids, bitch, nobody is saying that Black people invented braids. Bitch, it's the styling of the braids, bitch. You're not going to sit up here and say these Vikings were sitting up here with box braids and baby hairs. You know that's not true. You know it's not true. I mean, if you're going to take it to saying that, you can say, well, who invents the clothes? It's not about who invents the clothes because everybody got clothes. It's the styling of it that separates Vikings from the fucking Grecian or whatever the fuck. The Grecian from the Egyptians. Oh, was the Egyptians naked? No, they had clothes, bitch, but you could tell the difference between them and them. The architecture, the flavors, the food, like, bitch, what are you talking about? You know that. So when you talking about braids, bitch, they're not saying, oh, white people can't wear braids. No one's saying that. And you know that's not the conversation. Don't nobody care about that. But when it's a whole situation, and matter of fact, you can do whatever you want. You can wear it as Black as you want to. But what I'm saying is, you know where it came from. And on a level of a platform, that needs to be acknowledged. Why shouldn't it? If you was going somewhere, you would say, oh, this is a traditional Native American garb. You wouldn't just say, oh, it's a skirt. These are box braids. This is that. If you was going somewhere, you would say, it's a traditional Native American headset or a headdress. You would just say it's a hat. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, when you call it, don't call these Kim Kardashian braids. They're not. There's an actual term for that that was named from the people who brought it into style. Who are you to come through? That's the problem right there. You're not calling it kimono nothing but a fucking kimono. And it don't matter who wears it. It's going to still be a fucking kimono. You're not going to call it a sundress with long sleeves, bitch. Oh, look at this sundress with long sleeves. Everybody look at you like, oh, you mean a kimono? That's the problem. And he knows it. And I didn't like him trying to play in everybody's face like, Black people think that they own braids. Nobody thinks they own nothing, bitch. It's the fact that we have always been overlooked and ignored, and people can clearly see we have a talent and a gift and have style and have flair, and will study us and take our shit and then be successful while we're sitting back struggling. You can't see how that's a problem for us? Oh, look at these Kate Moss braids. She up here looking like Queen Latifah from Set It Off. But they're Kate Moss braids. Girl, please. Oh, look at these. Oh, look at these. Bitch, these are nothing but Allen Iversons. Everybody knows that. Okay, and these are some Omarions. Bitch, everybody already knows that. Bitch, that's nothing but a genuine Jerry curl. Everybody already knows that. You're not telling me nothing under the sun. We have a name for everything, bitch. If that's what you going for, oh, you mean the Omarion braids. So at least if you said Omarion, it would be more true. Because not to say that he was the first, but at least he'll be a representative, someone who we could at least say, oh, those are the Omarion braids. Those are the Iverson. Bitch, you want to sit here and talk about something? Oh, look at the Martha Stewart bun. And it ain't nothing but a fucking snatchback. Girl, y'all stop playing in my fucking face, bitch. This fairly white bread on rye. Bitch, I'm not about to sit here and do this with you. This is Irish cream, and you want to sit here and talk about some Martha Stewart bun? What you call a snatchback? Oh, you want the Reba McEntire swoop? Girl, if you don't stop playing with me, ho, this is the Aaliyah swoop. This is the Aaliyah swoop, bitch. Reba who? Girl, we love you down. Miss McEntire, it's no shade. But girl, we're not gonna sit here and do that. You know damn well this ain't no Reba fucking McEntire. But you'll play me in my face to say, oh, you mean the Reba McEntire swoosh? No. You know damn well that's the Aaliyah. And then what about the T-Bows? They'll say, oh, you mean the Kate plus 8 haircut? Oh, you tried it, bitch. Now I know I can walk out of your salon because you don't even know culture. Kate plus 8? Bitch, I told you T-Bows. T-Bows in the no scrubs, like in the heyday era. Like, you know, when she had the bang and the two pieces on the side. And you had the nerve to say Kate plus 8? Bitch, give me back my picture. I'm leaving out of here. Fuck this appointment, bitch. I ain't gonna let this bitch play in my scalp, play in my hair, have me up here looking like Edward Scissorhands. I'm not about to do this with her. Because then I'm gonna end up on TikTok. It's a guarantee. So I'm gonna knock this bitch silly through the Supercuts shampoo station. This is just a nightmare. Let me go. I may already be on TikTok. By this point, the argument then blew up. So now somebody's recording. So this part's already gonna end up on TikTok. Do you really want me dragging you through the shampoo station next to be there? Because I saw a clip of someone who, I don't know if this was real or fake. I mean, I think the haircut was real, but I don't know if it was like something they were doing for the gram. But I saw a clip where they call themselves doing a prank on the person who they was cutting his hair. So when they cut his hair, they cut his hairline so far back, he looked like Edward Stewart. I mean, what's that man's name who be doing the sports? He looked like that guy. I can't think of his name right now. The one, not Shannon Sharp, but that other one. They put his hairline back like that and then squared it out. And then there was like, the clip came on, he was like, all right, you done? Or however he said it. Spun him around and took off his dressing. And when he looked, he had to do a double take. He he was like, "You're done," and he was like, "Are you being serious right now?" Like, and then he went to fight the barber. And in my opinion, okay, unless he was in on that and that was all supposed to be a part of a bigger joke where it's like, I know you about to mess my hair up. I'm willing. Just so that we can get the views. Fuck up my haircut. We gonna act like we fighting, and this shit'll grow back, and then we'll be over it. But we'll have some eyes and ears. I mean, but if that was real, and let's say he really didn't know he was gonna cut his hair like that, girl, you might have got killed because he was like throwing shit around the barbershop trying to fight him. Like, no, I swear to God, I'm about to get him on blood. Oh, he was really trying to get to this bitch. So I thought that was hilarious. But I'm like, it's only funny if this is fake. I mean, it's funny even if it's real, but to me, it's not funny if it's real because why would you be a barber gonna do that to somebody's hair, even as a prank, unless they're in on it? Because then I'm saying, bitch, I'm calling the police. I'm beating you up. I'm leaving a Yelp review, and I'm doing a YouTube video. You post the video online, bitch, I'm double whipping your ass. I'm going to whip your ass on site, and then I'm going to whip your ass upon any other time we cross paths. Because I say, you put this video online for what again? Bitch, I'll beat your ass. For real. Girl, I wish. Oh, let me, like, let's say I go, and it's like, okay, this is my first time ever going to a salon to get my hair retwisted or to do anything with my locks. Oh, we can't wait to treat you, sister. So now they're retwisting me. And I'm just enjoying. I'm like, wow, this feels incredible. And then at the end, they spin me around. And when I look, bitch, they didn't cut all of my locks down to like that bitch on The Parent Trap. Remember when she cut her sister's hair and had her down to a bob? These bitches done cut me down to a Parent Trap. And so now, bitch, girl, if I turned around, then I'm looking on the ground, I'm seeing all my locks are on the floor. Ooh. Now call the police, bitch. Now call the police. Because I will beat your ass. And I will whip your ass from the rooter to the motherfucking tutor hoe. I will beat your ass, girl. Now you can call him. Like, girl, who do you think you are? Oh, I thought you could use a trim, bitch. You cut all my hair off, bitch. I'm about to fuck you up. Now call the police. Call dispatch and call for ambulance. Call for dispatch and call for ambulance, child. Yeah, I'm getting ready to go. No matter when you see this, whether it's now or whether it's later, please do sow a seed. Every dollar counts. Because like I said, even when I close the gap with this mortgage, I do need to try to get ahead with these utilities. And even though we're having to pivot yet again, because initially it was for the house party, but if this comes through, this will at least secure us guaranteed right up front immediately. But then, like I said, I need to close that gap with those bills, those utility bills that we're kind of behind on. And I've been working out little deals, this, that, and it's like, but we can really close that gap. And so whatever, especially in this upcoming month, like with this deal, I feel like one of those people who's like brokering, like, oh, we need to get this contract. That's how this feels. Like, we really need this contract. This is the contract that we need. So please pray for me. I'm about to head it to the gas station so I can get some wraps, come home, tidy up. You know what? I worked on another song that is super raw right now, but that I really like, and it's a different type of song for me. But I think I might let that breathe because today I really want to make. I know I wanted to connect with y'all, but I think I'm gonna make it a cleaning day. I do need to clean. And I keep saying that because the baby's shed every day. And beyond that, I just want to make sure it's as clean as it can be. Because I just do. You know what I'm saying? And set the tone. Like this is the standard. Like this is where the house is. I'll do my part, especially since I don't have to wake up at 3:20 in the morning. But y'all don't make it hard for me. Don't make a mess. Don't leave a mess for me to clean. Like do what makes sense to do, and then I don't mind. Just be reasonable. Don't be leaving your clothes down everywhere, and I'm picking up clothes, dropping them off in your room, dirty drawers, and like, come on, let's come on. So all right, you guys. Listen, I love you. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the song. Inshallah, I'm going to catch you all on the flip. Shouldn't be too long, but these next coming days, whatever you can contribute, please do. For the girls who really love me, fuck these other girls. When I'm talking the way that I'm talking to those other girls. When I'm reading down, I'm talking to those other girls. For the girls that love me and the girls who are in a position, please do. It'll be greatly appreciated, and it definitely will help out a whole lot. Okay, listen, I love you. Catch you on the flip. Be safe out there if you're going to be on the roads. If you're down in the area where the hurricane's supposed to be coming, some of my people down in Florida told me that there was a lot of wind, but really it wasn't too bad. So that's good news. And so just remain safe, be careful, think twice. If you don't have to put yourself in the line of fire, girl, avoid it. All right, I love you. Catch you on the flip.